There are shouters and murmurers, loan sharks and burglars. Who's good or bad, who's to say? Some are lost, some are searchers, some are givers, some are earners. But why did they all end up that way? Is it nature at play or is it nurture? Is the teacher to blame or is the learner? I'm all at sea, I'm no authority on anything but me. I couldn't tell you why I am who I've become, but I can tell you the parts that make me up, and you can calculate the sum. I'll impart to you what I believe would be the recipe for me. Water. First things first, you need a great deal of water to make me. 60 liters is roughly what you need. It accounts for 65% of my being. And cells. My body's composed of trillions and trillions of cells, performing an assortment of missions, and it's important to mention that they house my DNA, which makes me myself. There's an ebb and a flow, I grow, then I see changes, there rewrites, losses, gains and rearrangements. It's all much more uncertain than I thought it would be. There'd be so many ways to be me. Stories, audience or presenter, add scores of stories over time. A slew of silly videos I shared online, and journals full of narratives I wrote at age 9. And still, I continue to write because I have more dreams to fulfill. Tales I hope to tell when I was younger, ideas that I haven't made yet, but I will. I'll find my way with my will. There's an ebb and a flow, I grow, then I make changes. There are rewrites and losses, gains and rearrangements. I'm so much more uncertain than I thought I would be. There'd be so many ways to be me. Eggs. You may laugh and that's great. Your smiles are what make my day. My self-worth's fragile like an egg. When it breaks, it's tough to put together again. And salt, a pinch of salt in my wounds when my friends have had enough of me. It doesn't help that I'm lacking subtlety. When I drop hints that I crave their company. Alone, it's hard to console myself when I feel so alone. I feel like I disappear if I don't shout I'm here, if I don't make my presence known. And if people see me here and find my face unclear, can I help them to see me better? I know I can't foresee the weather, so will they accept me now or ever? Who knows? I hope so, but I'm good enough whenever I face.
Wait, why can I still hear it? What?
There are shouters and murmurers, loan sharks and burglars. Who's good or bad, who's to say?
Oops, sorry about that, chat. Oh, I don't know why it's doing that. Hi, chat. Sorry, I did a goof there. It's called I still had my browser up, so I could hear stream. Oh, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Hi, Luna. Yeah, hello. It's okay. If that's the only issues we have, then this should be it. Like, I started hearing the song. I was like, wait, can I hear the song now? Hi, Milo. Welcome to the stream, guys. Eden, my beloved. Oh, guys, chat. So I know I sent pictures of this in the Discord, but also I'm turning the music off for a minute. It's kind of getting on my nerves. I know I already showed this in the Discord, but if you're not in the Discord, you wouldn't have seen this yet. So we've all seen when I turn off the game, I've got that little overlay, yeah? Well, this is what it is during Pride Month. Yo, fuck yeah, no stream delay. Hi, Milo. I'm sending hearts to everyone in chat. Little snail and Arid hearts. This is the background. As you can see here, I pulled it off of Tumblr. There's the artist's name on the bottom. It's the ace flag. It's a quote-unquote subtle version of the ace flag. I really liked it. And I'm sure you guys saw what our starting stream is for Pride Month. I can pull that back up real quick. It's going to end up covering everything, but that's alright. Ground new, Mara. Or maybe I'm not. Okay.
I hate art.
Yeah, I don't remember. Oh. Also, here's Fennel in chat. Not in chat, in call. Well, that didn't work. This is what it is for the starting soon. This is art by Lavender Town, which is she's a YouTuber, so I thought it looked cool. She does have an asexual and a non-binary pride flag design, but I thought they were a bit too busy, so I didn't use them. I did try. Luna says hi, by the way.
Hi, Chaos Buddy.
So we're gonna play this cute little gay game that I love. And I thought, chat, you guys could help me design our character for the game. And I need to turn the sound back on. I might turn the music off and play my own at some point, but we'll see. It kind of depends. Wait, shoot, where is it? Minecraft. Hades, music, portal, stream. Oh shit, did I remove it entirely? Or did I just... Oh fuck. Where did the audio go?
Close enough.
Ah, here it is. I found it. Yeah, exactly. It's the first day of Pride, so we're playing a little gay game. You are? Oh my gosh, Milo, you should send it to me. You should send me your Instagram later, and I will look at it. Fuck yeah. I'm looking really forward to seeing your art then, Milo. So this is our fella. What should our name be? I think we should start off with the name first. Question, do we want a voiced name? Which means we'll occasionally hear Cove say our name, or...
Cove is the best. That's all you need to know.
Robin? Eden says Robin. I will have to put the gay axolotl on there. Yes, we love gay axolotls. I may have to move chat, actually. Chat, I don't know where to put you.
Bantunku.
I'm not putting chat there. Arlo? Maybe if I shrink the game a little bit, I can... Sorry, I know we're just sitting here on the screen real quick. It just shrinks the game. No more game.
Bye-bye.
Well, see, if I shrink it up like this, it looks kind of funky. But the thing is, chat's kind of... I can't see them. Okay, so we've got Robin, Arlo, and Ash. We've got 2 votes for Robin so far. Let's see if we can find it under the R's. Rebecca, Reed, Ray, Rena, Remy, Ren, Raven, Ruth, Ryan, Rye. There's more R names than that.
Did you scroll down?
No. Greg. Remy, Ren, Revan, shut up. Rhiannon, Riri, or is that right? Rin, Rika, Riley. I don't know how that one's pronounced. Rihanna, Risa, Riven, Riza, Robin. We've got Robin. So, okay, are we going with Robin, Arlo, Ash, or Greg? Or Ren? Ren? Okay, so we've got 2 votes for Ren and, well, the thing is... Ren? Okay, we'll do Ren. Let me see if I can find it again.
I want to jokingly object to Ren, but then I know you'll take the objection seriously or yell at me. / lighthearted.
Can I turn the music? So what, okay, so we've got our name. What are our pronouns? Do we want to trans our gender? Because we can trans our gender. Also, what should the last name be? Rhymes. Ren rhymes with Fen.
That's not why.
I feel like they, he vibes. Alright, we can vibe with that. The thing is, so do we want to start off with he pronouns then? Because like we're starting out as like a young child. As Ren rhymes.
You start off at about 8 years old.
Yeah, you're like 8 in the first game. Alright, so we're gonna start with he pronouns for our lovely little Ren rhymes here. And now we could design what they look like. What he looks like. Rhymes is kind of funny. Ren rhymes. We can also change the name later in the game if we ever decide that we don't want to keep this name. Well, I say that. We can't change the last name, but we can change his first name. I will say, I have played a good bit of this game before, but I've never finished it. So we've got, it's round, chubby, pointed, oval, peach, and square. I think peach looks kind of cute. Peach and rounded. Chubby, not round, chubby. We asking the important questions here. With peach. What should our skin tone be? Oh god, that's really white. That's not an insult. My mom is about this white. Peachy. This is my skin tone. Also, I thought I saw somebody say that they liked the crown. Maybe not. Okay. Olive, tan. What's our ethnicity? For the record, I should state you're adopted. Your character, our character is adopted. We've got 2 lesbian moms. So, but we come from a biracial family. Do my skin tone. Olive is a good skin tone. Thank you. Like it a lot. I'm trying to make, like, not look as much like me. But I guess that's kind of the point. So I have to open a whole new save file. But I like the little eyelashes. I'll keep little eyelashes. Ooh, there's quite the selection of eye colors. You're the ghost in your family? That's fair. What if we just gave them like blue eyes and like dark hair? Let's see. Use the pink eyes, okay? Gold, orange, red, pink. We gotta choose a good hairstyle. See what suits our fellow here. I think I kind of want to go G and C with them, like even as a kid. Oh, and I have like that one kid who had like the sort of longer hair when they were kids, and then like as they got older they started to style it. Does everyone know like that kid? Or is it just me who just had a bunch of friends who like grew their hair out when they were younger, and it looked awful, but you didn't know any better because you were kids. And then as they got older, they started to actually learn like how to style their hair. I'm included in this, by the way.
Yeah, I did that too. I wanted to have contact there.
That looks cute. I like this little hairstyle. Now I'm trying to pick like the hair color. I like the idea of maybe they dyed like the yeah, you were that kid, Luna. What if we kept, like, the front, like, this grayishy color? Now that kind of looks bad. We can change the hair color later. The only thing that I believe is set in stone is eye color, skin tone, and your last name. Front should be red, and the back should be black. Ooh. You might be onto something. You are onto something. That's adorable.
Well, like your hair, except for the back is brown.
My hair is not black.
I said that except for the back is brown.
I was trying to avoid. I mean, they could be a ginger.
A natural color.
Listen, that's like your hair. I know. Oh, okay, but Eden, your hair is adorable, and I love it. When I say adorable, I mean I like it. Is what I mean.
Get it, Rowan, you're queer.
Fuck you. I love playing games this way, it's fun. It is. I was also thinking about maybe the beige. The beige. I don't know why, I just like it. It looks funky with the black. But are they like a natural redhead is the question. Is Ren Rhymes a natural redhead?
I've never heard of anyone dyeing just the back of their hair.
Wait, we can give them birthmarks, but I can't see them. I'm gonna put the little one by the cheek, I think that's cute. Yo, we can have facial scars. You're welcome. Okay, but like, if we give them little facial scars, we have to come up with like a story about why they have them.
Because they're a dumbass and they ran headfirst into the counter. Next question.
Okay, well the one above their eyebrow right here. Ren Rhymes, who is a redhead. Wait, it's on theme. Wait, so then they dyed the back of their hair black then? Oh, don't give the baby trauma.
Here's a backstory. Here's a backstory for facial scars.
They ran into the fucking
Red
kitchen
Rhymes
cabinet.
righteously climbed up a rowan tree and fell on their fucking face.
Well, then we'll put it on, like, their cheek then. I was gonna give them, like, an eyebrow scars, and I was gonna say they fucking ran into the cabinet or the kitchen counter at home.
They can have all of the scars at once.
I know they can. I think I'm gonna keep the rosy cheeks though, because that looks really cute with the pink eyes. Luna agrees actually. We can freckle up their face.
Yeah.
I act like I haven't played this game before, but I'm not playing as myself. I'm playing as a child. Alright, let's do like the nose freckles. I think this is really cute. Oh shit.
I'll be right back. I'm getting myself liquid this time.
What size are our hands? Are they medium, slender, or chubby? Let's go with chubby. He's a very adventurous and cute kid. Those glasses don't fit his face. None of these glasses fit your face, Ren. Those almost do. They don't fit, honey. So no glasses. Do glasses? Okay. Which ones do you like? I think the circular ones are the ones that I think look the best. Homophobia. Maybe not, they kinda look bad. Okay, no glasses then. Homophobia / J. I'm not homophobic, I'm very gay. So, chat, I don't think I've shown you guys, Mara, my little character that sits on screen, usually. Is she on stream today? I don't remember. Oh, no shit, she's not. Fuck. Neither is Orpheus. Well, that's fine, I guess. Maybe. There's a dancing Princey. There is a dancing Princey today. I mean, I could put them on screen. But I think they'd cover up some of the text. I think they'd cover up some of the text. Like, as the game goes on. Maybe we just leave Orpheus on screen today. Maybe we just leave Orpheus. And today we move him over here. Oh. He goes behind. Oh, well, never mind. He's just gonna stay over here in his corner then. What?
You can move layers around.
I know I can. It's effort. I finished my pride picture on for day 1. Woo! KS buddy, I made Rowan emotional last night. Yes, Luna did. Okay. This is what we look like. Ooh, birthmarks. We can be more scarred.
I vote Ren Rhymes as a clumsy child.
I agree. I say that Ren Rhymes wears pants, skirts. Okay, actually, hold on. We're gonna come back to this in a minute. Do we want to slowly trans their gender, or do we want to go straight with G and C? Like they're 8, and given his parents in the game, have Luna DM you? I mean, or you could just put it in the Discord. Freckles. I want to do freckles everywhere. This is a personal choice. I like freckles on people. So if we're going to be planned as this character, they need all the freckles.
Freckles are adorable.
I love freckles. I know people are like, I hate fake freckles because people get bullied for having them. I'm like, but why though? They're great. I love them. I wish I had more. I have very few, and the rest of my family is incredibly freckled.
Well, fake freckles are good because they normalize freckles.
Exactly.
I have freckles. My freckles would be more obvious if I went outside more often, but I do have them.
I have some. My mom and my sisters all have like a bunch of freckles, and I don't, and it makes me so upset. Okay, do we want to give him any birthmarks? Arm, leg, back, or chest? You have more than one? You can. We also have the accessories.
You can do more than one of literally all of these.
I know you can, but still. Except for names. I wish we could have multiple pronouns at once. That's the thing that I should have. You said all of the scars?
Yeah.
So legs and arms, it's gonna be a given if he's a really clumsy child.
Yes, Rowan.
Yes,
They're
we're
telling you
both.
that as a child I ran around without a shirt and I'm AFAB.
Fine, we'll do scars all over. Birthmark on the... Where do we want to put a birthmark? Okay, but it'd be cute though. No. I was thinking of like future... The story is in the Discord at Des Buenos Beyond. Ugh, reading. My mother has so many freckles and I'm just here with none. No. Maybe we don't need birthmarks. Alright, so accessory types. I don't know why you wouldn't wear any of these. I don't, just mark them all. So what do we do for clothing, guys? Do we want to like edge into this a little bit by just going at pants, shirts? Or do we just want to go...
No skirts. Gosh, Jay.
They just don't wear pants. They don't wear any kind. They just wear pants and skirts, and that's it. There's no like top of any kind. It'd be kind of funny though. In our defense, it'd be kind of funny though.
No clothing. This is a nudist child.
No. They should wear shirts. Yeah, I agree. I think they should wear shirts. The question is, do we give them skirts and dresses too? Or maybe they're like no pants, only skirt. As like a small child. Rowan, I put the art I did for Pride in the Discord. Yo. I'm gonna take yet another quick break. Why? I'm getting added? Oh, I will look at this later. Not the art. This is... So, okay, it's just Key saying Happy Pride Month. when I got an ad in that channel, I worried. I was like, oh, fuck. What is it?
What is it this time? Affectionately.
Affectionate. Whoa, no. Okay, pulling up... I'm pulling up Milo's art. That's what the break is. All of the options. This is a child that's gonna know that they're gay very early on. Well, maybe not that they're gay, but they're like gender is interesting.
Yeah. Maybe not quite fully understand the whole like he, they pronouns thing, but he's fine.
Yeah, oh gosh, it's so big. Hold on, let me fix that. I like, this is really cool. What if we put,
Lovely.
I was like, what if we put chat on this, but I can't. Wait, hold on, let me,
If you put it up.
I'd have to shrink the game then. It would cover the
Yeah,
game
no,
up.
That's why I stopped mid-word.
Okay, I was like,
I
if you would
realized.
like to come here and mess with my settings, be my guest.
If you wanted to give me editor privileges, you could. However, I don't know if you want to give me those powers.
Is OBS? Well, because the other guys use, different things and... But, like, look at us. We go dancey on the rainbow. Look at this! Actually, I really love this. On games where I'd actually be able to do this, look at how cool this is. I would just be sitting on Milo's rainbow. Gender is a social construct and it irritates me. Welcome back, Eden. British people are annoying you. Slash lighthearted. I mean, I think that's fair. Alright, so we're gonna do all of the stuff then. All of the things. Oh, okay, that's all of our options. So then we need to move on. Oh, we hit done. Yeah. Wait, aren't we supposed to be able to design Cove? Or does that happen later?
That is the initial one.
Okay. Well, then we're hopping into the game then. Summer in Sunset Bird was a special time of year. Your usually sleepy town began to bustle. It was a popular tourist destination with people coming from all over to enjoy the beach, the weather and the relaxation that came with both. The smell of the ocean, crisp and salty, hung in the air, bringing 3 whole months of schoolless vacation with it. During the summer, your moms didn't like you to wander too far outside of your neighborhood, so you knew the area pretty well. I'm non-binary, but ever since coming out as non-binary, I wore more skirts and dresses than I ever did, and it makes my family confused. Mood, though. Yeah, same.
Well, literally, it's like, initially after I came out as non-binary, I was like rejecting femininity full stop. But now I'm more feminine than I was before.
Same. Actually, where did I put Milo's art?
Like, I do makeup, I go to the thrift store and I buy myself dresses, like...
Hold on. Shit. That didn't work. I wanted to flip it on its side so maybe I could put chat in it, but this didn't work. Sorry. Oh wait, no, I don't think Orpheus and Mara are gonna fuck up the text. Which means we can have them vibing with us. We can have the boys. This isn't scuff, this is just slow tonight. I'm sorry, chat. I mean, BRB pronouns. Shrimp. That's a giant ass shrimp. The fuck? I was such a genderless child and teen now. Now, skirt, dress, makeup, perfume, everything. When I was younger, I tried very hard. What if I'm gonna put y'all over here with Mara and Orpheus, so hopefully they'll help me be able to see you guys better.
When I was a tiny child, I was interesting gender-wise. Because I was very, like, hyper feminine, but at the same time, I would perform masculinely. Does that make sense?
Giant mother on a that's giant mother on a shrimp.
Like, I would run around in, like, a frilly pink skirt, shirtless, and then try to pee on a tree because the boys were doing it.
I'm gonna fuck around with layers and keep mom with me. Because I think mom deserves it. Yeah. I think this is an interesting pride setup. But I think it works out great.
It's fine.
Yeah. We're not gonna worry about it. That included the people. Families came and went from Sunset Bird, but they mostly stayed and did what your mom called putting down roots. They built businesses, they got to know each other, and they definitely said hello to the nice young kids who waved when passing their stores. Going for a walk around town mostly meant that the familiar, friendly residents waved, or asked how your family was, or most often just said hello. You didn't really get why they always had to say hi. They saw you every day, but you nodded back at them anyways. I think that Ren Rhymes is a very friendly child, so I don't think we'll pick that option. I was the quote-unquote girl that spent more time playing outside, playing with bugs and digging in the dirt than I did wanting to look pretty. Same. Like, I think if my middle school or elementary self saw me, they would be like, what the fuck happened? I'd be like, I don't know, kid. I stopped giving a shit.
I was, like, running around in the dirt, covered in mud, catching frogs while wearing, like, the frilliest pink clothes.
Nah, I kind of got to this point at some point where I kind of rejected all femininity. Which is weird, because I identified as a girl. And I was like, ew, feminine things are shitty. Well, yeah. Yeah.
Even then, it wasn't properly until, like, high school.
Yeah. You ended up saying hi to a lot of different people, since most of the tourists that came and went every summer were the same ones. You were too anxious to say hi back to most of the other residents that greeted you, but they all knew you well enough to expect that. Your past self would be so confused. So are we, an anxious child, or are we waving to all of the friendly faces, or are we confused by why they wave to us? Middle one? I think the middle one is like the most, well, middle option. What? Listen, I didn't have a clever comeback. You enjoyed learning all about where they were visiting from and hoped to visit those places one day too. But today, there was a man sitting on the curb outside your house. He was sitting with his head in his hands, his whole body slumped over, and you wondered if he was even a real person, or a statue that had magically sprung up from the ground overnight. Whoever, or whatever he was, you had never seen him before. One thing about knowing everyone in Sunset Bird was that people who you didn't recognize really, really stood out. It was rare for tourists to venture into the residential district, as your moms called it. So for you, not knowing who a total stranger was set off a lot of red flags. It was over. Oh. Your mom had to talk with you and your big sister, Lizzie, about this kind of situation before. You hadn't exactly been listening at the time. You think it could be okay to talk to new people. They mentioned that some people aren't good to talk to, but other types of people can help you even if you don't know them. You remember that it's okay to run away if you feel uncomfortable. You don't have to worry about being polite to them. Bread. Hi, bread rolls!
Bread.
I was a typical girl growing up because living in the South that expected certain things, so stereotypes were enforced heavily. Yeah. Hi, bread rolls. How you doing? Go to bed, bread. Here, have some of yourself.
Go to bread.
Go to bread bed. Bread bed. Either the first or the second. I kind of want the third one, to be honest. You weren't sure about this man. Still, you felt a bit scared knowing that he was blocking the way to your front door. But you were pretty interested. You wanted to know more about what was going on. Whether he was nice or not, you didn't want to be bothered. I'm just gonna answer. You still felt a bit nervous because he was, he's kind of blocking my door. Come on, man. How am I gonna get home? Sugar. You slowed down your mind, racing for ideas on how to get past him, unseen, but it was too late to escape. There was a split second where your eyes met, and you took in a shaky breath, your eyes darting to the sky, pretending to stare at a bird who was hovering nearby. Hey! His voice startled you, and made you jump, but still, you didn't look at him. The bird landed on top of a nearby gatepost, and its black feathers ruffled against the gentle breeze. Trying to keep your eyes on it was tough, especially when the man stood up and started to make his way toward you. Not wanting to seem too approachable, you folded your arms and stared. Still unsure about him, but willing to be friendly, you offered the stranger a smile. Your whole body was frozen in place as he approached. Bread. Go to bed. I don't think Bread knows what they mean. They're tired. Sleepy Bread. Exactly. Exactly. I think we're going to say that we're still unsure but friendly. The man gives a grin on of his own back. Do you live around here? What's your name? You looked the man up and down, taking in his tan skin and relaxed appearance. At least his clothes were relaxed, the way he was acting wasn't. He had sharks on his shorts and a stingray tattoo, and you wondered if he was obsessed with the ocean or something. While you made your assessment, he looked at you expectantly, waiting for an answer to his question. Don't say what your name is to a stranger. However, Ren is a dumbass, so... Dumbasses give their names away. I should know. I gave my whole address away to strangers. Which is not a joke, by the way. When I was younger, my mom taught me this song. Well, it wasn't really a song. It was a way for me to remember where I lived. And it had like this little tune, and in it, it said my name, my street name, my house number, my fucking state, and my zip code. And I sang this song everywhere. I sang it in the grocery store. I sang it to strangers. And also, not to mention, I wandered off all the fucking time. I am like... I was a very kidnappable child. I'm surprised I didn't get kidnapped. Well, and that's why we're dating, Eden. That's... amazing.
I mean, bro, originally I was gonna make a joke out of you, like, saying, like, oh yeah, no, you definitely gave it out to me, that's why I'm gonna be showing up at your house suddenly.
Screams. Screams. Screams bloody fucking murder. That's okay, we're just gonna go out and hang out in the woods.
Yeah, gonna get stabbed.
Yep, I've got a sword, and I'm not afraid to use it. I think that Ren is the kind of person who would accidentally give out his address. All the time. So screw it. Screw child safety. Hi, my name's Ren. I live here. Great. Nice to meet you, Ren. He gave you a broad smile, relief settling onto his face. Yo. Yo. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a clean $21 bill. It crinkled in his hand as he held it up to you. Even more confused than before, you looked back at him. Could you do me a favor? Well, that's not sketchy. My mom would never royally put the fear of strangers into me. So, I also was a wanderer. So my mother bought squeaky shoes, and I loved those fucking squeaky shoes. And I'm so upset they don't make squeaky shoes for adults. I want the annoying ass children's squeaky shoes where you jump, they go squeak, squeak. I also wish they made light up.
If you bought a pair of Heelys, you could rig something up.
I know you have your fucking weird ass Heelys.
Well, no, because there's a hole in the heel, so I'm sure you could find a way to, like, put a squeaky toy in it or something. You're clever.
Yeah, but it's not in the butt of the shoe, it's in the front of the shoe.
I'm just saying, this is the option I can give for you.
You don't have to fix everything. Just let me be miserable.
No, fuck you.
I'd rather you not.
You.
One of my nephews was a wandering child, so my sister got a leash for him. It's Yogurt! Yogurt the leash baby. God, we're not talking about the lore stream. God, I actually had a dream. I don't know if it was last night or the night before, where I was, like, doing a lore stream with, like, Dream and Quackity, and I don't even know why, because I don't watch either of them. And I was like, if I put their names in the stream title, does that look bad? Like, doing lore with these two giant content creators. But they're not gonna be here for a little bit. Because, like, you gotta set up to you meeting those content creators, right? In order to do your lore. So, if I put their names in my stream title, would I get in trouble? And I don't understand why it was those two specifically. Nothing bad. Sorry, I should have... Let me start over. He cleared his throat and stood up straighter. From where you were standing, it just made him look creepier. I have a son. His name is Cove. He was about your age. Cove. That seems like a strange name for an actual living person to you. You chewed on the inside of your cheek. This guy was definitely obsessed with water. You're a little judgmental, Ren. As someone who works with kids, they are scary out in public. Children are terrifying.
As a preschool teacher, children are terrifying. I love children.
I just work customer service and I hate kids in customer service. Actually, that's not true. All of the kids at my current job that I've interacted with are lovely. My old job, I wanted to kill them. Officer, I drop-kicked that child in self-defense.
Me, a preschool teacher. Officer, I drop-kicked that child in self-defense. I love children, genuinely, but they're terrifying.
This guy was definitely obsessed with water. He wasn't the only person like that in Sunset Bird. You moved it across the street, see? He gestured toward the house that had been empty for a year, his watch catching the light afternoon sunlight and reflecting off the walls. The gigantic "For Sale" sign was finally gone! You must be Ren Rhymes, right? I met your moms earlier, and they told me you were 8, just like him, so He shook the $20 bill to bring it back to your attention, a hopeful smile tilting his lips at the corners. Can you try to be friends with the boy? Just give it a chance, and you can keep this. He's a good kid. You'll like him. But you've got to keep it a secret, too. Okay? It wouldn't be friendly to say his dad sent you. You kind of felt sorry for Cove. You eyed the man. Do other kids really get their parents to pay for friendships? Quick, make the sticky hands think that sticks... What? Why are we talking about sticky hands? Kids are cute until older. They can get creepy as fuck. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I've got the Song of Achilles in my drawer. That's what's staring back at me. Also a knife. Anyways, closing my desk drawer. Also, by the way, the only thing that's in the drawer next to me is the Song of Achilles with my ballad song sitting on it at an angle and a slap band that's rolling around. That is all I have in this drawer, and it's really kind of funny and weird. So I'm gonna close it now. There's something reflecting back at me and I had to open it. Did other kids really get their parents to pay for- I'm just gonna eye him, because this is kind of sus. I apologize for Brett's behavior. I mean, Brett is giving me those active chatter points. Ah! Fuck! Hi! Shit! What? Hi! Thank you for the follow, all hail the bees! That's the second time I've jumped. I wasn't playing a horror game this time, I was just distracted. Oh, Seven's in chat. Wait, where are my other save files? No. I'm concerned. It did not delete my entire game, did it?
Did you restart or just start a new game?
I said new game.
I don't know.
Different computer. Maybe. Welcome to the family. What could be so bad about this Cove kid that his dad would need to bribe strangers to be friends with him? What do you say? Want to make a deal? I'm taking that money. Like, we are taking the money, right? It's $20. If somebody came up to me now and was like, hey, $20 to go talk to my friend, I'd be a little...
$20 is $20.
$20 is $20. It's like money. Oh yeah, like you see my point, Luna. Like we gotta take that cash money though. We need it. Like I could buy myself. I don't know what I could buy myself today with $20. How much?
I could buy myself like 4 breakfasts.
I could buy the Song of Achilles for $16.99. Which honestly, that's a book that I would buy again. I'll take the $20 and then go talk their ear off. Taking the money and dashing. You carefully plucked the bill from his outstretched hand, grinning at the thoughts of what you could do with that much cash. What are we doing with the money? What are we doing with the money? All the sweets and sugar and candy. We could buy a ticket for the newest movie. No, I'm taking my mom. No, don't buy a movie ticket. Have your parents take you. Look, you're 8. No, you're not paying for your own ticket, kid. Think about this. I mean, you can if you offered, but save that shit. cute stuffed animal? Yeah, I was actually eyeing the cute stuffed animal one too. It was gonna be able to go home with you. Now I want to go get my stuffed animals. I need to like, what I should do, I need to do like this thing where I take pictures of my different stuffed animals. You know what, actually, I have Raichu next to me. I've got like a little Raichu who sits on my desk because I need to fix his tail. I don't know if any of you saw the Pokemon video I uploaded, where I had Pokemon in the microwave. Oddly enough, Raichu was not one of the Pokemon featured in that video. Because, it was Squirtle and Snorlax that got put in the microwave, and Raichu was just sitting there on the side. I swear I wasn't torturing them. I needed to do that to make sure they didn't have bedbugs in them, because I didn't want to wash their tags. But it's still just really funny to just be like, ah, yes, Pokemon. If I took a picture of all my stuffed animals, I'd have too many pictures. I'd have quite a few. I've got a sleeping Charmander. I've got Mimikyu, who lives under my bed, but he's currently not under my bed. I've got, what did I name the big fox plushie that I took home? I don't remember. I've got Duke the Dragon. I've got LKB. I've got Demipetro. I've got Friend. I've got a couple. I've also got a koala somewhere, and I've got... Not a koala. I know it is a koala. I've got a koala. I've got a sloth named Remy. At some point I had a seal named Andre. Yeah. I've got a cat that was originally named Amber, but I named it Mother. And it's old. That was the start. Goose. Goose. Honk. And that was just a. And that was just a start. You thought the sky was the limit with that kind of amount. I wish $20 was still like this big amount of money to me. The man smiled at you, his eyes crinkling at the sides as he did. Great! That's great! I'll bring him by tomorrow. I wanted him to meet and greet with you. I wanted him to meet and greet with the neighbors today, but... Well, I don't think he's gotten off to it. He laughed when he said that, but with the way his face looked, he thought he actually wanted to cry. If you see him, can you tell him to come home? Shit. He's got a pink cast and glasses. You can't miss it. You know what? We need to know. We need to know if the money is still ours. It's the meanest option. But I need to. Can we keep the cash? I'm thinking either can I keep this either way or I can try. But I just think it's so funny. This sounds like, hey, can you tell my child to come back? No, can I keep this? Just no thoughts. No thoughts at empty. Hey, I got 20 bucks. What can I buy with it? This is non-refundable, yeah. This is like peak comedy to me. That and Heartstopper's fucking crying because you're 62% gay. God, that seems hilarious. Screw it. Can I keep the money? He chuckled to you and rested his hand on his hips. Shit. This looks like Eden. The pineapple pizza? You sure can. The man smiled and reached out to pat you on the head, paused before doing so, then pulled his hand away instead. Yo, don't just go pat random children. Good job. Your moms are already checking around for me. Such a thoughtful group you are. Now I better go look, too. Can't put everyone else to work while I keep sitting here. I thought he might come back and that's not what's important. I have to go. Thanks again, Ren. So much. He jogged off down the street without another word. You decided to check the hills behind your house. Hi, Luna. Step 1. First sight. I'm blind. The chirping crickets in the tall grass greeted you, quiet and familiar. From the top of the hill, you could see the ocean. As you walked, you listened to the crash of the waves on the shore, and the seagulls squawking as they settled down for the night. I want to pretend I fought sea serpents. ASMR. Yeah, we're doing ASMR now. Sometimes you could almost convince yourself you had seen the flash of a shiny mermaid's tail in the distance. You took in a deep breath. You wanted to try and relax and couldn't. You weren't sure what, but something told you that you weren't alone, so you glanced around. There was a boy, sitting at the top of one hill, almost completely hidden within the long grass and white flowers surrounding him. His head was buried in his knees, staring ahead by himself. For whatever reason, probably just that he wasn't paying attention, he hadn't noticed you yet. You watched him a minute longer, feeling a little bit like you'd found a deer in the wild. Though deer didn't have... He's adorable. I love Cove, but what is the first thing that we notice about him? Green hair, wavy eyebrows, huge glasses, pink cast, or he's sad. I feel like this one's more important, so I'm gonna let chat pick. Fen, are you dead? Are you...
I'm still here. I'm tired now.
You can go to bed if you want.
I'm debating it right now.
You're debating it. Pink cast? Make him empathetic. Sad? Sad or pink cast? Sad works too. Sorry, responding to something real quick. But this new boy did. You wondered what could have upset him. After a few more seconds, he took a step forward, then another. And then he glanced your way. His aquamarine eyes reflected the light of the moon. You stopped, raising a hand to acknowledge him and show you weren't scared. Are you lost? With a start, he jumped to his feet, his hands balling into fist at his sides. He didn't say anything, just stared at you in a strange way. He'd been crying. There were traces of tears on his cheeks and his knees, soaking the hem of his shorts. His eyes were still shining with a few more. He's so cute, look at the baby. You'd obviously caught him off guard. His pink cast seemed to glow in the twilight, though when he caught you staring at it, he hid his arm behind his back. Something the man earlier had said stuck out to you. Cove? Ah! Eyes wide, he studied you. How do you know? That's a terrible voice for Cove. I'll find something else. You touched the money in your pocket, feeling it crinkle beneath your fingerprints. I'm all-knowing. That's a lie. Tell the truth. Okay, your dad told me who you were. Oh. So, is this your hill? I want to squish him. I feel like he's I just, like, cup the baby cheeks. He gestured with his uninjured arm to the patch of grass surrounding you, his face falling at the prospect. I can leave it I can leave if it is. You shook your head. While doing so, you also picked at a strand of lint off your leg. What a weird question to ask someone. Oh. He sat back down with a thump, resting his chin on his knees again. Curious about the strange new boy with the odd dad, you sat on the patch of grass next to him. The pure white flowers that covered his hill rocked back and forth gently as the stars twinkled above. The way they dotted the sky made them seem like flowers too. Oh, that is a beautiful way to describe stars. I like that. Ah, shit, I hit the wrong button. That's cute. The night wind was cool as it traveled over the ocean and up the hill, chasing away the heat from the afternoon sun. Why are you up here? A quiet hiccup escaped Cove as soon as you asked the question. Oh, baby. Almost like they'd never stopped. His tears started up again with a vengeance. My parents. They don't want to live together with me anymore. The tears fell fast and heavy over his flushed cheeks, sticking in his dark lashes. My mom made my dad leave and he took me with him, and now we have a house here and I want to go home. The outburst took you off guard. By the time he was done wailing, Cove's chest was heaving with exhaustion. He sniffled and removed his glasses, wiping at his eyes with the back of his hand before he put them back on again. I hate this place. I want my real life back. I want my mom. Yes, he does need a hug. Stop crying. That's mean. I'm sorry. He slipped his hands underneath his glasses and pressed his fingers against his eyelids. Cove wound himself up again for another long crying fit. You felt bad for him, being forced to come here with no choice. You couldn't imagine what it would feel like to live with only one of your moms. But it must be pretty hard. But, from way off in the distance, you heard your parents. Ren! Cove! Kids, where are you? Nah, that's not at all what she says. Kids, where did you go? Cove looked at you, tears still clinging to his cheeks. Don't tell them we're here. I want to go home. I don't want to go back to that house. I want to go home. It'll be okay. You were struck by a sudden need to reassure Cove. It's not gonna all be fun, but isn't he your family too? Yeah, I guess. Then you can count on him when you really, really need him. You shot him a grin and pushed yourself to your feet. Slowly, Cove stood up with you, still looking a little reluctant. His dad's voice rang out again. Cove, can you hear me? He looked toward the sound of his dad's voice, silent, then turned away while rubbing his not-bandaged arm. Sorry. I still don't want to go. You waited silently with him. Yeah, I get it. You do? Before you could answer, you heard Cove's dad, even closer than before. There you are, bud. The trio of parents appeared over the curve of the hill. Instantly, all their eyes landed on you, and they rushed over. Both of your moms were at your side in a split second, faces filled with worry. Run, you're here after all! We'd been at the park to check for Cove, and then heard what happened earlier when you met the new neighbor. I thought you might have gone further away. No, we're just sitting in the grass. Thank God, you're both fine. Were you two having fun out there? He looked over at Cove, who was wiggling against his dad's tight hug, pushing his arms. Bats! 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 Bats!
Hi, Bats.
Bats! Bats! Bats, do you want to join VC? Bats, my beloved. I'm totally up for moving to Mom's streaming attic. And killing Fennel. We must sacrifice them for Cove's happiness.
I'm probably gonna dip anyways.
I know. Why is Bread Rolls laying an egg?
Honesty doesn't surprise me.
It doesn't surprise me either, but I'm just kind of concerned.
I'm not even concerned. This is pretty standard Bread Rolls behavior.
I mean, fair enough. Bus bats. Bats bus. Bat bus. Bat 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 bat. Bat. Bat.
But.
Butter bat.
But. Bat bus. But. Yeah.
Just got the little. They're their own creature, honestly.
Might be Caesar.
I'm just gonna. The bat's just gonna vibe over here.
The Bats has a knife. You're about to be stabbed 37 times in the back.
Yeah, when I jump up and then I land right back down on the knife. Oh wait, we can't see Bats' face. There we go. There's just a little bat peeking out behind Mom. There we go. Wait, no, there we go. That's cute. We got the little bat peeking over there. We're not saying that. We're not saying that. We are not saying the fourth option. I'm an ostrich football egg layer.
The fourth option is Emery and Cassie.
That is Emery and Cassie. I'm gonna marry that girl someday. We're gonna live in a big castle and we're gonna have so many dogs. It's not even the voice I use for Emery. It's more like, Cassie, come on. It's my turn. Give me your clothes. It looks like...
Clothes.
Cassie, take off your clothes. I want to wear them. Yes, yes, especially the skirt. I don't care if the corset isn't fitted to me. It's got to be fitted to both of us.
Emery, that's not possible. I'm smaller than you.
I will gain boobs. That's not how it works, Emery. I love that, like, I unintentionally, like, ended up giving Emery a more masculine frame. Like, Emery looks like they should not have one, but they do, and I didn't mean to do that, but I love it. Just this soft little baby, and then, like, takes off top, and it's, like, a buff child. Like, when Emery's an adult, like, they still have, like, that squishy look to them. But no, they're fucking ripped. This is canon. Nobody in chat knows what we're talking about, and I'm sorry. The second one? Yeah, I like him. You nodded, smiling slightly. Finally, letting go of his squirming, scowling son, Cove's dad turned to the three of you. Thanks very much for finding him. I really don't know this neighborhood. Good thing Ren knows this whole area so well. You got a job? Fuck yeah! Absolutely. We should be getting home now. It's been a long day for us all. Say goodbye, Cove. Bye. The two of them walked off into the darkness, heading toward the neighborhood. You watched Cove's bright pink cast until it disappeared. Tell you what. We'll have a proper play date tomorrow, okay? Your new friend's dad wanted to bring him by to see you and Lizzie. How does that sound? It sounds like words. I'm saying that. Both of your moms laughed, the sounds overlapping into a warm, familiar chorus. Mommy put her arm around your shoulder and led you towards the path. Satisfied and more than a little ready to go to bed after your long, exciting day, you followed them home. Choose your feelings for Cove. This is how your feelings towards Cove for this step. It can change in later steps. I don't think we're gonna have a crush on Cove just yet. Font? Fond. Would fond and nervous work? Because it's not so much that we're like nervous of interacting, it's more of like nervous for Cove, if that makes sense. Relaxed. Fond and relaxed?
No, that's my feelings for Cove are. It's basically like, does Cove make you nervous?
Oh, no. He's like an 8-year-old boy. And
that's what it means.
In this game, we are also, at this point, an 8-year-old boy.
Mm-hmm.
I like the word flonked. What does flonked mean? Am I gonna look that up and learn that it's something terrible and terrifying? That's what's gonna end up happening, isn't it? Yeah, I think we're good with this. We're fond and relaxed. Oh, comfort and my interest in Cove. Okay, hold on, no. My interest in Cove no. Oh, I didn't read. It does say comfort level. It's not a bad word. Wait, how far is the delay?
The delay is not that far.
Okay. I like the relaxed and fond. Does Cove make us nervous? I didn't read the top bits like I should have. Does curve? Just curve. Who is Curve? And is he Australian? Oh no, not Curve. Oh no. I probably should not jokingly make fun of Australian accents, given that analytically wise, the other half of my audience comes from Australia. Not to mention most of my friends are Australians. So, you know. I've never played with like a nervous... Go be Aussie. I would love to be Aussie, but I am unfortunately not Aussie. Yeah, fuck it, we'll go with fond and relaxed. That's what chat wants. Bats, I need you to fly me to the Aussie land. You don't have a fish bread, go to sleep, bread. At the breakfast table the next morning, you finished your food faster than usual. Your sister Lizzie had run out earlier to go play, but you'd stayed put. Today, just like your moms had promised, Cove was coming over to hang out. Excited to see your new friend again, Ren?
Yeah, I am. How sweet.
How sweet. I'm so happy he moved in. With that said, are you done with your breakfast? Your bowl was entirely empty, so you nodded. Mm-hmm. Good job. He should be here soon. Cleanup began, and then on cue, there was a knock. It was hesitant, like the person wasn't sure they were in the right place. Still loud, though. We need to get a more obvious doorbell. I know. Ren, could you get it? Wiggling out of your chair without really pushing it back, you made your way back to the door. Hey, Rhymes family! Thanks for having us! Mr. Holden, as your moms have called him, and his son were here. Cove looked different in the bright lighting of your living room, and when he wasn't crying. With his dad standing in front of him, and Mom and Mommy behind you, you and Cove looked at each other. Pleased to see your new friend again, you smiled at Cove. He smiled back with some hesitation. Shell bracelet, shell bracelet, shell bracelet, shell bracelet, shell bracelet. I want the shell bracelet. We'll do that one instead, I guess. Let's go play in my room. Okay.
Take care.
Let us know if you need anything, you two. Have fun, kids.
See you.
See you later, son. Play nice. You led him to your room, puffing out your chest a little bit at the sight of your treasures. There were lots of stuffed animals, a cool bed, and window to look out. It was a great room. You hadn't had anyone to show it to in a while, but you were really proud of it. He leaned in a little closer to one of your drawings on the wall. I like this. I drew that. Cool. You smiled at him. You were proud of that particular piece of art, and you were glad he noticed. He turned to look around the room a little more, studying the books on your desk and the pictures on the walls. You hoped you liked your room. You'd put a lot of effort into making your room as nice as it was. You hoped he didn't say anything bad about it. And his eyes landed on the tiny box of beach things you'd collected, tucked away by your door. Purple cheese? I think that's a thing, bro. He took a step towards it before hesitating and pointing at it instead. What's that? A hoard of stuff found on the beach?
Oh.
Do you have any driftwood in there? Dragging the box in the middle of the room, you and Cove flopped down next to it. I think so. Yeah, let's see. You gestured to a piece at the bottom, still covered with specks of sand. Neat. This is a good collection. You got the sense from the tone of his voice that he wasn't just saying it to be nice, or to be like Shiloh. He actually meant it. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Shiloh's gonna be here today. Shiloh? Lizzie's friend, or like, her #1 fan, I guess. Do I have to see him? It should be okay. I mean, he's Lizzie's friend, not mine, but, you know. Come on, check out my shells some more. I found this one under a big piece of seaweed that had washed ashore, and you pulled out seashell after seashell, explaining where you'd gotten each one and holding them up against the light. There were big ones, small ones, pink, purple, and orange. Most of them you washed off in the bathroom sink when you brought them home, cleaning off the sand. Over the past few years, you'd even learned some of their scientific names. The collection was so huge that varied that you had lots of funny stories to tell. Your voice faltered a little bit as you kept going as best as you could. I think that Ren Rhymes likes a little bit of science. What do you think? Little sciencey boy, little sciencey child. Learn about their seashells. Trying to impress our new friend with our knowledge of seashells. Yeah, you guys agree? Our little seashell child with our little seashell bracelet. You had a whole picture book dedicated to different seashells and sea life. You'd learned a lot by flipping through its pages. apparently fascinated either by the stories or by the shells themselves, Cove listened with what looked like the full force of his attention. It was a new experience to be the center of such dedicated focus. But Cove hadn't been mean to you, so you didn't mind. You smiled at him every now and then, while showing him your collection. You have hair? Is it your hair? Kids, come down to the living room. You could tell the idea was making him unhappy, but Mommy wasn't giving you much of a chance to hang around. Cove hadn't been like this meeting you. You guessed it was because he thinks you found each other by accident. Not that a parent made it happen. Mr. Holden must be right that telling Cove his dad was part of that would be a bad idea. Before you knew it, you'd both been escorted downstairs and deposited in the living room, ready for Shiloh's visit. The two of you sat side by side on the floor of your home's entryway. I brought the box of seashells. I want to keep looking at them. Okay, be careful though. I will. You weren't sure if you could trust someone else with your treasure yet, so you stayed next to him while he opened the lid and peered inside. Cove reached in and pulled out a big orange shell. Oh. Like he hadn't spoken aloud yet, he turned to you and held it up, his eyes shining. I think this one's the best of them. You can take it then. Cove looked at you. Oh my god, his face! Look at his little face! He's a baby! His little face! He looks like he's gonna cry again. Fucking love him. Really? Sure, you like it a lot, right? Uh-huh, but I don't want to take it from you. It's okay. You got the impression he was hesitant to accept something because he didn't know you very well. If I was a child, I would have pushed it. You insisted. No, it's okay. For you. Oh no. Okay, now he really looks like he's about to cry. You pushed this shell against Cove's chest, willing him to receive the present, but Cove firmly shook his head and kept his arms tightly at his sides. It was a battle you couldn't win, at least not today. Cove was your neighbor now. Maybe you could give it to him another time. The two of you were still sitting on the floor looking through your collection of beach findings when the doorbell finally rang. Cove jumped, startled by the sound. Since the person hadn't knocked, you figured it was probably Shiloh. You know where to look for that. Lizzie's friend? You nodded, but that didn't seem to make Cove feel better. It was already obvious that Cove didn't hide his feelings well. You could tell what he was thinking right away. This isn't a good idea. You'll be alright. He's here, we can't tell him to leave. He's at our only door, and if you go upstairs, he'll find you. Cove glanced around the room, his eyes wide, and finally paused when his gaze locked onto the back of the house. I can go out the window. He was already walking towards it. Scrambling to think of something to say, you stepped forward, then paused. What are we gonna answer, guys? You wanna break your other arm? Shiloh is the least scary person alive. Cheer up! Shiloh's gonna like you. Please don't get hurt. I'll come with you. Good idea. Let's go. Actually, given the personality we've associated with the kid, I think the last one makes sense too. These are all great answers, though. Please don't get hurt. Baby Cove, please don't get hurt. You're just a child. Sweet little bouncy baby boy. The last one's cute. It's very cute. So do you guys want the last one then? Good idea. Let's go. Hurry, they'll see where we're going. He glanced back at you, then nodded. The two of you made your way to the window together. It wasn't much of a distance to clamber out, but by the time you landed gently in the bushes, you looked up to see that Cove was already taking off away from the house. He was not that fast, but neither were you. Cove, I'm coming! You ran as fast as your legs would take you, grass whipping around your ankles as you did so. Cautiously, Cove slowed to a halt and looked back at you. Where are you going? I don't know. Somewhere else. I just don't want to see... Bren! You looked back and saw Shiloh huffing down the hill after you, the backpack he clutched bouncing all around along the way. What are you doing? Can I come? He must have seen you leaving out the window and followed behind. Hi. Oh, hi! Are you Cove? Oh my gosh, another adorable child.
Yeah.
Yeah? I'm Shiloh. Okay. Yep. Are we going back yet? Or are we gonna play outside? Shiloh's eyes moved between you and Cove. The smile remained strong on his face. It got a tiny frown from Cove in response. You're just grateful he hadn't asked why you had been running away. Inside, we left the box on the floor. Right, my shells and stuff. We have to make sure they're okay. Okay. With Shiloh trailing behind you and Cove headed back towards the house. The plan for the afternoon, at least as far as you were concerned, was to sit and look at the beach thing some more. You weren't really in the mood to do much of anything else, especially if Cove was having fun. Hey, check out this scallop shell I found. My voice keeps fluctuating a lot when I'm trying to do the voice for our character. It's fine. Maybe they're going through puberty. Hey, check out this scallop shell I found. Cool, right? It's pretty cool. Kind of like my cast. The beautiful glittering pink did look a little bit like the wrap around his arm. Pink's a nice color. Okay.
Oh?
Is it your favorite color? Not really. What is? Maybe green or blue. It might be yellow. Oh, those are cool. I guess. Not sure how to deal with the suddenly more awkward silence, you looked back at your shells. Like usual, it didn't take long for Shiloh to get fidgety. Lizzie was his favorite. Without her around, Shiloh didn't seem to know what to do with himself. And Cove wasn't like your sister. He wasn't that much like you either. Is Lizzie coming back? Don't know. Aww. Where'd she go? I think she's at the beach, probably. Is she playing at her park? Cove's eyes lit up at the mention of the park, and he looked towards you. There's a park? Yeah, but it's old. Can you show me? I want to go. He started getting up before you had even answered, and Shiloh jumped up beside him in excitement. Can I be the purple one? Like the penguin with the jester hat? What's the purple thing that you're talking about, Squib? I love it. Yeah, it's right at the beach, so there's lots of fun stuff to do, and lots of sand. It has a jungle gym and a bunch of swings. That sounds like it could be cool. So are we gonna go find Lizzie? I don't know. I never really wanted to see her. I just wanted to check the park out. Adrift without any hesitation, with any direction, Shiloh finally turned to you. Okay. He perked up. Both boys wanted to go. It was only fair. Is that a penguin? I don't know what it is. I think it's a penguin with a jester hat. Oh yeah, I've got Edwin. I forget about Edwin. After getting permission from your moms, the three of you were ready to head out. It was a short walk to the park. Lizzie had convinced your moms that it was so short, she should always be allowed to walk there by herself. When you found her, she was hanging out on the jungle gym, swinging back and forth. Hey Lizzie! Her face lit up when she saw you, her big brown eyes going wide. Bren! Shiloh! Hi! She dropped to the ground and landed with a soft thud in the sand. In a split second, Shiloh had abandoned you two and scrambled over to see her. You were used to being left out when it was just the three of you, but now Cove was here. You wondered if he would leave too. Who's that? It's Cove. He's new. I remember. Hi, Cove. Welcome to my park. Nobody ever comes to play here, so this is where we get together. She gestured wildly with her arms as if to present the area to the newcomer. While Lizzie continued talking, you took the chance to kick off your shoes and wriggle your toes through the warm sand. Nice, huh? In this neighborhood, I'm the one who comes up with the ideas. You are? Yeah, I am. Who else could handle the job? Who else could handle the job? Lizzie is the oldest. By a lot. My mom said you're Ren's age?
Yeah.
Yeah? Thought so. I'm still the only one in this group with double digits. What about other kids? Other kids? There aren't any. We're the only kids here, and Shiloh's just visiting from another place. Not even tourists really bring their kids here. This is the land of ancients, being careful that the oldies don't try to steal your youth. Oh? For a second, it looked like he might cry again. Stop making Cove cry, Lizzie. What kind of old people? Like moms and dads or grandparents? Grandparents who don't have kids. They hate kids. Why? We haven't done anything. Stop saying stuff like that. You're gonna upset him. You interjected quickly, hoping Cove wouldn't start crying again. He sniffled, his forehead creasing with worry. Lizzie was staring Cove down, but Cove wasn't even looking at her anymore. He didn't seem to care that she was there. He went into his own head. Shiloh was the next one to speak, completely unaware of the situation. I met Lizzie and Ren in school. You see tons of kids there when summer is over. I don't want to go to a new school. I don't want summer to end. Shiloh looked down to the dirt. He hasn't had much luck striking up conversations with Cove. I like summer vacation a lot too. All the building tension in the air suddenly vanished when Lizzie laughed. At Shiloh's discomfort at how weird she thought Cove was at something else entirely. He didn't really know, but she laughed, face scrunching up.
Okay.
Welcome to Sunset Bridge Cove. Take a seat, put your feet, and get used to it. You offered him a small smile, and that at least looked to reassure him. For the rest of the summer, Cove was always there. You saw him more often than Shiloh, and on some days, when she was in a bad mood or busy, you even saw him more than Lizzie. Is that a tree in the back? It looks like it. He became a staple of your everyday life, the way the sun and lunch and the beach were. During your first summer together, you really liked Cove. He was a fun person to play with, and he seemed to like playing with you too. Of course, that was only the start of things. And now we get to play all of these things. And then I don't remember all of these. So because there's not like an official order to play any of these in. This is just sort of, I found a thing on Tumblr a while ago where it's like, oh, this is the order that I play the game in most often. So essentially how this works is we play through all of these different little steps. Scratch my eyes because they're kind of itchy. I think we're gonna do this one first, though. The funny one? I don't know if they're all funny. It was early, and you were on your way to the playground. Lizzie planned on joining you there later. You weren't sure what she was busy with right now. Older kid stuff, you imagined. Grown up, lol. Wait, well, maybe we'll play grown up next. That was okay. What was forefront in your mind was if Cove might be free to come too. As you walked the familiar street, wondering how you might find your neighbor, He appeared right in front of you, almost as if he was a mind reader. Hi, Cove! Can you come to the playground with me? No, sorry. Cove looked strangely serious. It had to be an even bigger deal than whatever mystery Lizzie had to do. I'm leaving, Ren. What? Where? He shifted and your gaze was drawn to the backpack slung over his shoulders. Cove liked to stuff things into his pockets from what you've seen, but people sometimes carried bags with them. It hadn't been very attention-worthy until now. The pack was decorated with cartoon waves and dolphins. He gripped one of the straps tightly with his good hand. I just wanted you to know. Cove didn't glance up and meet your eyes. You started to grow worried. Where are you going? You didn't answer. It was as if you hadn't said anything. I'll come back though. Sometime. I don't know when, but we can do stuff then. He directed a fragile smile your way. Without another word, Cove turned on his head and started to walk away. Hey, wait! He kept going. His focus wasn't on you anymore. What was that about? You watched as his back grew smaller and smaller. Then you realized that you were still standing in the middle of the sidewalk. You thought about your earlier plan of playing at the park. Suddenly it didn't seem as fun anymore. Not without Cove. But it isn't like you could force him to play with you. You had things to do. You had to play at the park. It was still sad Cove wouldn't be there, but you wanted to stick with the plans you had on your own. Maybe Cove and his dad were going on vacation. That had to be it. You reasoned. After all, Cove said he was going to be back. He wasn't moving again. You resolved to spend time with Cove when you saw him next, for sure. After a couple of hours of playing at the playground by yourself, it had gotten firmly into the afternoon. You were on the swing set with your feet buried in the sand when you spotted Lizzie in the distance. She was rushing over like something was on her tail, chasing her. She knew you would be coming, but was she that excited to get to the park? Instead of nabbing the swing beside yours, Lizzie stopped in front of you. She bent over, balanced her hands on her knees, and panted. Did you hear? Hear what? Lizzie bounced back, her eyes blown wide. You only saw her this worked up when she found the new hiding place of Mom's sugar stash. It's about Cove! Cove? Something in the pit of your stomach dropped at hearing his name. You listened intently as Lizzie explained. I just came out when I saw lots of people gathered around in the middle of the street. They were talking kind of quietly, so I don't think I was supposed to hear, but that just means it was important. So I snuck up, and I heard everything. She paused dramatically. Clearly, she wanted you to say something. I don't really care. What did you hear? Seeing that she had your attention, Lizzie continued. Cove is missing. He left a piece of paper for Mr. Holden to tell him he was going away and would be gone for a long time, and no one's seen him since. Now they're searching the whole neighborhood. The grown-ups were even saying that if they don't find Cove soon, they'll call the police. The police? This was horrible. You had seen Cove. You knew he was going someplace, but you had no idea it was like that. Was Cove going to be arrested for running away? You thought you might have to go to jail too, for not saying anything or letting him go. You glanced back at Lizzie. Should you tell her that you'd known about Cove leaving, or would it be better to keep that to yourself? We're not telling Lizzie. Lizzie's a snitch. Now wasn't the time to bring it up. Actually, finding Cove was more important. Plus, all this wasn't your fault. You had no idea that things would turn out so bad. You watched as your sister began to pace in front of you. I know Mom said Cove was sad about moving here, but running away from home is crazy. Where else is he gonna go anyway? You watched it. Oh, shit. I'd go tons of places. Lizzie scrunched her face up, thinking deeply for a moment, then she nodded and planted her hands on her hips, determined. I'm gonna look too. You are? Mm-hmm. We can play at the park any day. And the more people there are looking, the quicker someone will find him. Maybe I'll be the one who does. I'm the best at hide and seek after all. It seemed like Lizzie wanted to look not only because she was concerned about Cove, but also because it was the most interesting thing to happen this week. Wish me luck. Before you could say anything, she ran off in the opposite direction from where she came. You were left in the dust in a matter of moments. That was your sister for you. But Lizzie's appearance in this crisis faded to the back of your mind just as quickly. Cove. He told his dad he was leaving to go somewhere by himself. Why did Cove suddenly decide to do that today? Did something bad happen? It's impossible to say for sure. Unfortunately, you had no idea where he could have gone. You thought hard. There were the hills behind your house. He had gone there the first time you met. But someone would have checked there already. They wouldn't need the police for that. Cove must be far away, or hiding somewhere, if the whole neighborhood was looking for him. You swung back and forth, your lips pursed in contemplation. If I were Cove, where would I go? Lizzie had said Cove was crazy for running away from home, but he never considered Sunset Bird his home, did he? His real home was somewhere else. There was only one place that came to mind that might be important enough for Cove to go off like this. It was a good idea, except how was he going to get there? Could he take a bus? Was he going to walk the whole way? He didn't know what direction he needed to take. But wait, there was only one way he could go. Going down the street just led to the beach, so that couldn't be right. Going to either side would mean he'd get stuck by buildings and fences and big slopes like the one behind your house. That left going up the street. You knew that road. It led into the main part of town and kept going all the way to the city limits. Cove didn't know the area well. You didn't think he'd want to go off that road onto some random other street. Which meant if someone followed that path, they might find him somewhere along it. The grown-ups seemed to all be looking in the neighborhood, so... They're a dumbass. We're going by ourselves. You shouldn't tell anyone yet, just in case you were wrong. You could go check it out by yourself. For the record, chat, I don't know if you're watching this, and you should at least be 13. But I still feel the need to say it. Go tell a fucking adult, please. But I'm choosing this option because I think that a small child who is a dumbass and very clumsy and overly friendly, despite the fact that I would have gone and told my mom, and I'm also somebody who that description would work with, I just think it's funny. I'm turning Ren into a little himbo is what I've decided, I guess. You went right up along the main street, keeping an eye out for Cove. No one else had the same idea as you, it seemed, because you were completely alone there. You passed through your whole neighborhood, and the next one, and the next one. You put one foot right in front of the other, focusing on your surroundings as you did. Cove had a head start, so you didn't know how far he could have gotten. You couldn't get distracted. You kept walking. You even called out for Cove a few times, but you didn't see that familiar mop of green hair anywhere. After a while, the sun began to dip out of the sky. It would be dark soon. There was still no sign of your neighbor. You weren't even in the residential district by this point. You had reached the central part of town. The area was at once strange and familiar. You'd been here before, of course, but never without your moms close by. They would drive you. You were growing disheartened. There was the possibility that he was further ahead, but there were countless other places to potentially check, too. Cove! You shouted his name a few times as you had done periodically this entire time, but there was nothing. Maybe he's not going this way. Was he somewhere else? Had someone found him already? You kept going forward. You were able to make it this far. You had to continue the search. With that in mind, you pushed yourself to walk a little faster. People said this was a really tiny town, but to you it felt absolutely gigantic. Eventually, the business part of town ended too. There was no sidewalk anymore, only a long expanse of road. You walked on the grass instead. Onward was the only option. Your journey stubbornly continued. Jesus Christ. Your feet hurt, you were tired, you were on your own, but somehow you had reached the very edge of Sunset Bird. That's what the sign told you. You had lived in Sunset Bird forever, and it was a very rare occasion that you'd see the sign. Most everything in your life happened inside the city limits. The endless road ahead seemed scary in a way. It paralyzed you and finally put an end to your forward momentum. You scanned your surroundings instead of dwelling on that. You deeply hoped he hadn't gone past that sign either. Cove, are you here? The previous times you'd called his name, there had been no answer. You couldn't be surprised that one didn't come this time, either, until... Ren? A dark blob just behind one of the exit sign's legs shifted. You squinted as it continued to move. The more you stared, the more your eyes adjusted, and the more that dark blob resembled a person. Then you realized just who it was. It was Cove! He was here! You actually found him! He hesitantly got up from where he'd been sitting, as if to make sure he'd actually heard something. Then he caught sight of you, his eyes wide behind his glasses. There you are! Cove finally blinked as you ran up to him, your feet still aching. How did you find me? You said you were leaving, and you've always wanted to go back home. So I thought you must have come this way. Oh. And that was all he said, after all of this. Maybe he didn't realize how seriously the adults were taking it. Are you okay? Yeah. He didn't look okay. His brows were pinched and his shoulders tense. You got the feeling pointing that out wouldn't help matters. Everyone's looking for you. That caught his attention. He frowned at you.
Really?
They are? Yeah, the whole neighborhood. Lizzie told me they might even call the police. We might get arrested. What? Why? I don't know. Because you tried to run away? Probably. And I knew, so, you're, accomplice? Was that the word? You thought so. You'd heard it before on those detective shows Mommy liked to watch. We're not gonna be arrested. Although Cove said that, he looked a little worried over the news. Come on, Cove, let's go home.
No.
No! He spoke crossly. You were thirsty and exhausted, and you weren't sure you could keep going back and forth about this. Why? Why can't we just go? Your unhappiness caused him to waver, but not budge. At first, Cove was quiet. You started to think he wouldn't say anything. Then he spoke. My mom called today, to check on me and stuff. She asked what Sunset Bird was like and how I was doing. It was okay. But when I asked if she'll come here, Mom said she couldn't. I can't go back either. Not right now. She has to move to somewhere else first. Cove glared at the ground, his voice cracked as he continued.
It's not fair.
Why can't I even see her anymore? He used his uncasted arm to rub both of his eyes. I'm gonna go myself. I don't need anyone to take me. This was all just too much and you started to cry. Cove's eyebrows shot up as though he hadn't expected you to have this kind of reaction to what was happening. What's wrong? You didn't give him an answer. When the surprise wore off, he tried more softly to coax a reply out of you. Are you okay? No, I want to go home. Fuck it. At this point, this is what I would be thinking. No, I want to go home. His lips clamped together, and he awkwardly held his hand up in front of you. He awkwardly held his hands up in front of him, as though he wanted to do something, but wasn't sure what. That's alright. You can go back when you want to. I'd have to go by myself down the whole road again. I'm sorry. And he shook his head, like he was trying to clear it when he spoke some more. It was mostly to himself. If I don't go see Mom, then she's... Fresh tears glistened in Cove's red-rimmed eyes. He stubbornly tried to blink them away, but they slipped down his cheeks. You frowned at the sight. No matter what, you hated seeing him cry. What'll happen? Mom doesn't call that much, and I haven't seen her in so long. Cove hiccuped, wiping his face with the back of his arms. His glasses got shoved up awkwardly as a result. If I don't go, she'll be gone. She'll forget about me. She wouldn't do that. How do you know? She's your mom. She loves you. Your mom's always said that, so it must be true for Cove's mom too. Cove sniffled. He seemed conflicted. I'm not sure if that's right. You were at a standstill. We can't stay here forever, and we can't go out there. We've got to go back. Cove's brow furrowed, a scowl appearing on his lips. He turned away from you. You stared at his back. You couldn't just stop. Please, Cove. After a few minutes of sullen silence, Cove twisted back around. He wouldn't look you in the eye. Okay, let's go. I don't want you to get in trouble. I don't want something bad to happen. He was doing it for you? That gave you a warm feeling inside. Even if you wished he didn't want to leave in the first place. And that was that. Together you walked away from the exit sign. Your feet hurt a lot by this point, and you were so tired, but you convinced him. You were bringing Cove home, and that's what mattered. On the long walk back, it was only thanks to the occasional street lamp and faint moonlight that you could see in the dark night. You were content to stick close together. Sometimes your drowsy walking caused one of you to almost bump into the other. The back of your hand brushed his. Oh, what's our reaction to Cove's hand? Also, I'm gonna leave VC. Chat. Cove's hand. What do we do? What do we do? Hold hand? We've got one vote for Holdy the hand of our sweet bouncing baby boy. We hold hand? Hand hold. Honestly. Wait. Are we... Wait, who takes whose hand? You notice Cove took hold of your hand, or you held on to Cove's hand? Cool. Which one? Did Cove take our hand, or are we taking Cove's hand? Like, it's the same thing, but I feel like who does it makes a difference. The first. Okay, we got one vote for we take his. Sorry, I feel like on some of the big character moments, I kind of want control, and on some of the others like this, I want like you guys, because this is your character too. I just get really invested. First, alright. You held on to Cove's hand. You reached out for his hand. It slipped into yours easily. His palm was warm. Cove glanced at you, looking surprised. Then he smiled. His fingers curled around the back of your hand. The two of you continued down the street, hand in hand. You wondered if everyone was still looking for Cove, and you too, probably. You think they called the police after all? No, probably not. He didn't sound confident, though you still hoped he was right. You didn't want to go to jail. You weren't sure how much time passed. All you knew was that one moment you were fighting the drooping of your eyelids while shuffling near Cove on the sidewalk, and the next you were snapped back to the attention by the blaring beep of a horn. Cove froze. You whipped around to see a car approaching you. It was difficult to make out who it was. The headlights were so blinding. Instead of continuing down the road, the car slowed near where you sat. The window rolled down, revealing the face behind the wheel. It was very familiar. Mom! She shouted back, and not just because there was some distance between you and her. Where have you been? I've been looking everywhere for you. I was trying to help Cove. She stopped looking at you, instead staring hard straight ahead. Both her hands were gripping the wheel. This is really cute. But I feel like I'm about to get in so much fucking trouble. Part of me wants to go nab my actual mother and explain this plot to her, but you guys probably wouldn't be able to hear her. This was hard to face. Guilt ate you up from the inside. Get in. Let's get you two home. That, at least, made her showing up worth it. Your feet were aching like crazy from all the walking you'd done today. You yanked open the side door, slipped inside the where are the car seats? Oh, I was in a car seat for like ever. You yanked open the side door, slipped inside the back seat, then clambered over so Cove had enough room to climb in it too. He followed in wordlessly, tucking his backpack near his feet. Your mom looked at you and Cove from the rear view mirror. The two of you had us extremely worried. That wasn't a good thing to do. Not at all. Shamefaced, you both nodded as one.
Sorry.
Sorry, Miss Rhymes. Sorry, Mom. She softened immediately. Not enough to actually let it go, though. You'll have to apologize to everyone else, too. With that, Mom started the car up again, and you were off. For the rest of the car ride, no one said anything. You thought all of you were pretty tired. In fact, you must have dozed off at some point, as you woke up to the sound of the engine stopping. When you opened your eyes, you realized Cove was looking over at you. He was tense. We're back. You yawned and got out of the car. Cove came out after, putting his backpack on again. Mom locked the car door and motioned you two towards the house. She opened the front door and let you go in first. Mommy appeared quickly. She must have been waiting nearby. There was a phone in her hand. It worried you, thinking about who she might have been talking to. Jesus Christ, you're not going to jail. The tight line of her shoulders relaxed when she saw you and Cove. Oh, thank goodness, you found both of them? Yes, I did. They were walking down the main street together. What were you two doing there, this time of night? Do you have any idea how far that is? How unsafe? You peeked at Cove. He still looked exhausted. His eyes were puffy, and there were dried tear tracks stuck to his cheeks. I wanted to see my mom. Ren came to get me. Your own mom shared a look. You weren't sure what it meant, but they always did that. You wondered if they could read each other's minds. Since they were communicating telepathically, you stole a glance around the house. Shit. Okay. Around the house. Lizzie wasn't anywhere in sight. Could she be outside somewhere? Searching for Cove still. Where's Lizzie? Your sister's in her room, fast asleep, the same way you should have been. She came back earlier. She had been out looking for Cove after accidentally finding out he was missing. She tried to pretend otherwise, but she was worried. She said she checked all the hiding places she could think of, but she couldn't find Cove. You and Cove exchanged remorseful glances at that. Mommy noticed the discomfort.
Okay.
You two must be sleepy. You can sit down wherever you like. Mommy smiled warmly and motioned to the living room. Cove looked up at her, then lumbered over. You followed close behind. Living room wasn't far or separately by a wall, so you heard your moms talking softly. He wanted to go see his mother. Poor thing. That explains it, at least. Still, I'm not sure it excuses it. It was so dangerous to go off into town like that. He's having a hard time right now. You can't expect a child to handle it maturely. True. Can't be helped. But that's enough of that. We should tell Cliff that and the others that he's here before the panic gets out of hand. There could be riots.
Is that alright?
I'll call, then go to the front to tell everyone's still out there. You keep an eye on the kids. Make sure they don't take any more trips today. Got it, hun. I love our moms. They're great. Cove just sat there on the couch, setting his backpack down beside him. He stared at his hands. I'm sorry, Ren. You faced him quietly. I didn't want to make you feel bad. I don't want to fight. You won't do it again? I won't. Not for real. Okay. I don't want to fight either. Having him apologize did make you feel better. He looked relieved in that the two of you were going to be able to get past this. Before you could say anything else, the front door opened. Your mom was back, with Mr. Holden close behind her. He made a beeline for the couch, his gaze trained on his son. Cove? God, are you alright? Strands of his hair had fallen out of his ponytail. His eyes were darkened like he'd been crying too. Cove stared up at his dad, his own eyes wide behind the frames of his glasses. He really hadn't expected it to be such a big deal. Hey Luna, what you doing? I'm okay. Good, that's good. I'm so glad to hear that. He clasped a hand on his son's shoulder, attempting to smile, but the corners of his lips twitched and spasmed as if they wanted to wilt into a frown instead. Can you tell Eden to sleep, please? Fred, you go to sleep. Cove seemed to have that effect on him. Mr. Holden turned to you, still smiling weakly. Eden's always going funny. Affectionate wasn't an insult. Just, you're hilarious. Mr. Holden turned to you, still smiling weakly. I'm so happy you're alright too, Ren. Then he looked at your moms. Thank you for your help, as always. Luna, you can sleep if you want. He laughed pitifully.
I'm sorry.
And I'm very sorry for ruining your afternoon with this. I can't apologize enough.
It's okay.
It was no trouble, Cliff. Really. It couldn't be helped. And in a way, something was bound to happen sometime. Besides, he wasn't the only one who decided it was a good idea to disappear today. Exactly. We're just happy the kids are safe and sound. Not for the first time that day, you recalled your original meeting with Cove. He had run away then, too, only not as far as he had today. Cove must have had a similar thought because he mumbled an apology. Sorry, Dad. I won't leave anymore. Promise. Some life seemed to return to Mr. Holden, thanks to his promise. This time, around his smile was more genuine.
So glad.
That's a relief to hear. Next time you feel like running off, come to me first, okay? We can talk about it. I'm here for you. Cove nodded. His dad reached out and mused his hair, playfully. Although he made a face, Cove didn't try to dodge the hands as he usually did. Let's go home, bud. I bet you're as tired as I am. Mr. Holden took over carrying Cove's backpack, still clasping a free hand on his son's shoulder when he stood up from the couch. The five of you walked over to the front door as you could see them off. Mr. Holden thanked your moms profusely. At least 3 more times before he walked out the door. Cove was made to follow. But he stopped and turned to you before stepping through the threshold.
Thanks.
Thanks, Ren. You're welcome, Cove. Tiny smile flitted across his lips. There, and then gone. You waved. We're hugging him, right? We're hugging him. We agree? Like a hug. We're hugging the child. We're not just saying, I'm glad he deserves hug. Hug the baby. We hug the baby. Yeah? Yes, we're hugging the baby. Before he was gone, you reached over to give him a hug goodbye after a hard day. He held you back more tightly than you could have anticipated, and you almost squeaked out a noise. I'm glad you're here. His embrace was tight but brief. He let go as soon as he said what he wanted to. And with that, Cove left. Mommy closed the door behind them. You were practically dead on your feet at that point. Your fatigue must have been obvious because your mom sent you right to bed with no more discussions on what happened that day. Once your head hit the pillow, your eyes slipped closed on their own. It is really cute. You guys see why I wanted to play this? This is one of my favorite games. Your eyelids were so heavy you couldn't open them again until the next morning. You woke up much more at ease. You had felt when you were last conscious. It was almost like it was a dream. My teeth are falling out with how cute this is. But it definitely wasn't. Your mom's faces when you saw them assured that. After breakfast, you were sat down and your family went over yesterday's events in full. They were none too pleased that you went out to find Cove on your own. As punishment, your moms took away your TV privileges for the next few days. Oh god, thank god. Okay, next few days. Lizzie was annoyed that she couldn't watch her shows with you around, but she adjusted. Whenever you expressed disappointment, your moms reminded you they weren't punishing you for no reason. It was dangerous to go out on your own so late, without telling anyone. You could have gotten hurt or worse. As upset as you were, you understood. Mr. Holden talked to Cove about what happened too. You didn't know what was said exactly, but Mr. Holden forgave Cove immediately. He didn't do anything to punish Cove for running away. He blamed no one but himself for Cove's desire to leave home. You caught your moms discussing it once in a hushed tones, frowning at each other. It was pretty serious. There was a word used you hadn't heard before. Maybe I'm 8 years old. I don't know how to say that or what it means. There wasn't anything you could do to change Mr. Holden's mind. Your neighbors stopped you and Cove often for the next week or so to express their concerns and disapproval of their event. Well, they can piss off. They're not my parents. Still, as they always did, days continued to pass, so did talk about Cove running away. Things eventually returned to normal as they had to. Summer kept going, and you kept having experiences you shared with Cove. And somebody wanted grown up earlier. It's so cute, right? It's adorable. My boy! I love him so much. One sweltering summer day, you were in your living room with Cove, listening to the sounds of the birds chattering outside the window while you lay across the rug of the floor. Sorry, I feel like we should probably... Real quick, we're just gonna... save. Also, I'm gonna pause so we can just process the cuteness. We just gotta process the cuteness that was that chapter, yeah? Cove ran away. We blamed ourselves for Cove running away. We thought we were going to jail. We walked the entirety of our town at the age of 8. We found Cove. Cove made us cry. We made Cove cry. And then Cove decided he wasn't gonna go see his mom because of us. And then we held hands. And we got a little hug. It's an extreme criticism of oneself. Oh, okay. Thank you, Luna. Yeah, it's so freaking cute and adorable. Y'all see why this is like one of my favorite games that because remember I talked about this game on yesterday's stream. And how like it was super cute. Real quick, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add voice acting to my categories real quick. Not that I'm a voice actor, but I feel like if I'm doing this much voicing, we might as well. Just narrating the whole thing. It's so freaking cute. We've been live for 2 hours. One sweltering summer day, you were in your living room with Cove, listening to the sounds of the birds chattering outside the window while you lay across the rug on the floor. Cove's dad had dropped him off earlier, and your moms had left the two of you along with Lizzie to play amongst yourselves. It had been too hot to go outside in the afternoon, at least according to Mommy, so your sister was starting to get impatient waiting for her golf class that evening. Golf class. Got it. The three of you had trouble finding something fun to do. The beach and the playground were off limits, and you felt that it was too warm for anything like playing with your fuzzy toy animals. Then suddenly, a light came to Lizzie's big brown eyes, and her smile spread wide across her face. Having an idea gave her a new wave of energy.
Since we're stuck inside, we should be adults. They don't play outdoors anyways. They're always inside and telling everybody they're too busy to play.
Why?
I said why, and it'll be fun. Duh.
What do they do inside that we don't? Besides, use the phone a lot. Excluding a small huff, Lizzie decided to ignore Cove.
Ren, what do you think? Do you want to do it? I bet we can come up with something else. But that's what I'm going to do. And it's not as much fun when I play pretend adults by myself.
Do you do that a lot?
What's it to you?
Looking at Lizzie, it seemed Cove felt that he couldn't understand where she was coming from, and he sighed.
Do you really not want to play, Ren?
It was clear he wanted some way out, but still felt guilty about it. You kept hesitating. You looked down at your hands, still unsure. Apparently tired of waiting for you to make up your mind, Lizzie sighed.
Fine! Go play over there, Ren.
You flinched from her raised voice. It definitely wouldn't be fun to join now.
Me and Cove will do it ourselves. It's decided.
He looked back at you regretfully. I guess. I was hoping maybe he...
Now go on.
Nodding goodbye to the two of them, you trailed off to find something else to do. No, fuck that. I'm loading it back up. No. Yes. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. No.
What do you think?
Okay, I'll stay. I hope this is as fun as you're promising it'll be.
It's the most exciting idea I've had all week.
Satisfied that neither of you were about to bail on her, Lizzie thought over her options while you watched. After a few seconds, she clapped her hands together and beamed, apparently having settled on something without asking either of you.
Okay, I'm gonna be a professional golfer. Ren, you and Cove can be a beach volleyball player, a gymnast, or a tennis player.
Why can't we pick anything we want?
Because I have a fun idea, that's why.
And we have to play sports as adults?
Yup.
But there's other kinds of sports too.
It isn't the same. What do you think, Ren? Don't those choices sound super cool? You want to be that, huh? Isn't there anything else we can be?
Lizzie stomped her foot on the ground.
Nope, come on, just decide already.
Knowing Lizzie wouldn't let this go anytime soon, you sighed. Cove was not impressed with Lizzie's attitude, though. He didn't bother talking more about it for now. You thought over the list of possibilities: beach volleyball, gymnast, or tennis. Out of all of them, you'd prefer to... I think gymnastics would be kind of cool. I never did gymnastics, but I think it's really neat. If you couldn't spend the afternoon on doing it, if you couldn't spend the Lizzie's a brat. A little bit, yeah. She gets better as you go out, as the game goes on. If you couldn't spend the afternoon doing cartwheels and handstands in the backyard, then you might as well practice them inside. There wouldn't be as much space as there was outside, but you could still try. Yes, that was clearly the top option.
Okay, I'm gonna be a gymnast. Alright! How about you, Cove?
I pick volleyball. I should have known.
Okay, so Ren, you're a famous gymnast, and Cove, you're a popular beach volleyball. You're on a popular beach volleyball team, and
Lizzie's ponytail bobbed when she proudly stretched her arms wide.
we're Olympic athletes who just competed in the Olympics.
Maybe Red fell asleep. Hell yeah. Good night, night, bread. Get in that bread bed. Eat your little cheese blanket. We're turning bread into a burger now, is what I'm implying. Bread is now a bread bed burger. So it doesn't really sound like you're playing adults. You're playing athletes, Lizzie. You're playing Olympics, which I did a lot when I was younger. I liked to play make-believe. Cove didn't seem all that impressed with the announcement. He made a face and adjusted the glasses on his nose. That's really specific. I should be making his voice sound more childish again.
That's what makes it fun.
Anyway, Lucy marched back and forth in front of the both of you, getting lost in her own imagination.
I won all the gold medals and people are calling me the next Mickey Wright.
Who's that? Lizzie stopped on the spot and turned on him, her brown eyes shining with impatience.
It doesn't matter if you know who she is, it's a golf thing. You guys won medals too. Cove, your team was bronze, and Ren, you barely missed out on the gold and got silver. It's more real if we're not all first place.
Why do you get first place?
Hey, we can do better than silver.
You patted at Lizzie, unhappy with the decision. Ren's right.
Lots of people lose at the Olympics. Them's the breaks.
Then you're the one who did. Not me. Lizzie looked taken aback by Cove's declaration, as though the thought of her losing was completely absurd.
No way! It wouldn't make sense! I'm already practicing my golf game.
She took a golfing stance to make her point, pretending to swing her club and hit an invisible ball. I mean, Bread's been quiet, Lamel, so I just left, so hopefully they're asleep. I do hope that Bread is asleep. Bread is always a joy to have in chat. Bright Cove is amazing.
So what kind of house do you want to live in?
Cove hadn't changed his mind about winning, but thinking about where he'd live as an adult appealed to him. Apparently, because he looked back at Lizzie with some of the anger fading. I'm going to live on the beach. Lizzie made a face at him, poking out her tongue. That's kind of boring. I already have that. No. Not like the normal houses here with a street on it. With a street on it, right on the sand, by the water. Just like that, all the tension was back. You hadn't even had a chance to choose where you would want to live.
That's not very fun or smart, Cove. You can't live on a bunch of sand and shells.
But I want to, and I will. Cove narrowed his eyes at Lizzie, even though she stood half a head taller than him. You don't give out a list of things to pick from this time, so I'm picking that. Why are we even playing pretend if we can't imagine anything?
Jeez, well, I'm gonna live in a mansion far away from here and far away from you. One with an indoor pool and a place to practice my award-winning golfing.
How come you were yelling about mine when your idea is even more impossible? Lizzie's face flushed red, her hands balling into fists at her sides.
It is not impossible, and it's better than yours.
Disagreements always seemed to crop up when the two of them were together, and he always felt like you were stuck in the middle. But when it came to the topic at hand, this time you thought, Cove was right. Cove's idea is good. Cove's idea is good.
You should say yours is the only right one. No one asked for your opinion.
He smiled slightly over the agreement, then turned to Lizzie with a bolstered confidence. You can swim whenever you want if you live on the beach.
We can still swim any time if we want from where we live now. Being a little closer doesn't mean anything.
Says you. The two of them scowled at each other.
You're being so unreasonable. I don't get what you want. The game doesn't make sense. It does. You have to be realistic. I said that. But you're not.
You had no idea what to do to make them stop. At this point, it seemed like the two of them would just keep working each other up as long as they could. Nothing he'd said so far had kept them from being mad. Thankfully, like a greeting card, Angel, Mom walked into the room. Lizzie rushed to her, hanging onto the hem of her shirt and poking at out her tongue at Cove. Lizzie, run! It's time to get ready to go. Sorry you have to leave already, Cove. Their mommy said she'll walk you home so you won't be left left in the cold. Cove was still glaring at Lizzie, his face flushed with red with anger. I can go by myself. But bye, Ren. There was still a harsh edge to the brief farewell, but you knew it wasn't you he was mad at. Without giving Mom a chance to stop him, Cove stood up and stalked out of the room, shoulders drawn tight. Okay? Worried, Mom turned to look down at you and Lizzie. You two were playing nice with our new friend, weren't you? You told the truth.
We were playing pretend and things got intense. They were like cats and dogs.
Your sister's jaw dropped, looking betrayed as Mom put both hands on her hips. Elizabeth! I told you to be kind to him. He's having a hard time right now. Lizzie's mouth closed back up, replaced by a tiny frown.
I know, I tried, but he was...
No buts. We both know you can show someone a great time when you put your mind to it. We're going to apologize to Cove and his dad over the phone when he gets home from work tonight. Lizzie hung her head, dragging a foot across the ground in front of her.
Okay, Mom.
Good girl. You caught pieces of Lizzie sulking to herself about how it was his fault too, but it was over. All right, we better get a move on. Let's go, kids. Nolani and I. Nolani, where'd you leave the car keys? Mom hustled you all out the door, and you noticed during the car ride to golf practice that Lizzie was quieter than usual. She was usually the first one to request which music to listen to in the car, but she didn't say anything. Your parents noticed she wasn't in a mood to be bothered. They gave her space, and Mommy just asked you what you'd like to listen to. I want to make my sister feel better. You were happy to see it brightened her up right away, and she started singing along with you. Soon enough, her bad mood was a thing of the past. When the car ride was over, you spent the twilight hour watching Lizzie hit things with other girls her age. You didn't know much about golf, but you could tell that she really liked it, so you sat with your moms and tried to puzzle it out. It was nice sitting outside after being cooped up in the house all day. You stretched out your legs to let the last few minutes of sun warm your skin. When the sun was finally out of sight, dipping behind the horizon, you all got ready to leave. Instead of going straight home, your moms took the family out to dinner. You went to a restaurant that you had all been going to ever since you could remember. The whole afternoon had been a bunch of shouting. You hadn't been able to stop, but you could kind of tell that all this helped Lizzie be less angry. The car ride home was quiet, with only the radio providing escape from silence. Lizzie had been in better spirits now, but the closer you got to your neighborhood, the more she wiggled in her seat and frowned out the window. She knew what was coming when you all got back home. Clearly, she was dreading it. Soon enough, Mom was turning onto your street, then reversing into the driveway. Once she cut the ignition, it was dead silent. No one spoke, only unbuckled their seatbelts and opened their doors. Lizzie was the last one out. Once everyone was inside and done taking off their shoes, she propped her hands on her hips. Now then, Mr. Holden's car is in his driveway, so he should be back from work. That's good news, isn't it, Elizabeth? You and Cove can hash things out before the day's done. Lizzie didn't complain or put up a fight. Her head ducked so she didn't have to meet anyone's eyes. She nodded once. Good. Let's move this to the kitchen. Mom went over to the house phone, the rest of you following behind her. Mommy put a gentle hand on Lizzie's shoulder as they walked side by side. You watched them from the back. This was only happening because you told on Lizzie. You felt a little guilty, like you had betrayed your sister. You could still remember the look on Lizzie's face. There was no doubt she felt that way about it. You and your sister didn't always get along, but you cared about each other. This wouldn't change that, you thought. The four of you stood around the kitchen in a lopsided square. All eyes were on Lizzie, who kept her gaze on her feet. You remember the number for Cove's house, don't you, honey? Lizzie jerked her head in another nod. Sullen, without further prompting, she stepped forward and she began to dial. What's his number? Mom reached over and pressed a button on the base. Suddenly, you could hear the phone ringing. She turned on the speaker. The phone rang a couple of times, then stopped. Mr. Holden's warm voice came through the other end. Evening. Evening, Holden residence. Lizzie looked over at Mommy, unsure. She nodded encouragingly.
Hi, Mr. Holden. It's, Lizzie. Can I talk to Cove?
Absolutely.
Lizzie Rhymes? What a surprise! But of course you can. Say hi to the boy. Eh. He sounded cheery as usual, though definitely meant it when he said it was a surprise. You thought hard, and you were sure that your sister had never called Cove's house before. Mom spoke up before Mr. Holden or Lizzie could say anything more. Her arms were crossed over her chest, her lips pursed. Hi, Cliff. Nolani, Wren, and I are here too. Good evening. We're sorry to bother you so late.
Hi! Hi, Mr. Holden.
The gang's all here, huh? Something the matter? His voice grew a bit concerned. Mommy was quick to reassure him. No, well, yes, but it's going to be okay. I'm getting the game now, Lamel. I'm obsessed. I'm so tempted. It's free. Their game is free on Steam. It's a free game. So, it's free on Steam. It's free on the Switch. I don't know if it's got a mobile patch yet, but let me quickly find out. Now I'm curious. Also, they're currently working on a second game. Oh, I should also tell you, they're doing plushies. You guys are gonna make me get a fucking... Chat, should I buy a Cove Holden plushie? Should I get... See, I don't really like the design of it. Is it not? Okay. Is our life beginning? No, it doesn't. Yeah. Oh. Oh. Platforms: Windows, Mac, Linux, and Android. So then you can play it on an Android phone? Question mark? I have an Android, but I would have to close chat in order to like check the App Store. If that makes like any sense. I'm glad you guys have fallen in love with this game with me. Originally, well, that sucks. I can check. Thank you, my love. I send you little explosion kisses. Ah. Well, that's... Luna, do you have a computer? Like, it'll run on, like, a laptop. If you don't have a Nintendo Switch, because, like, again, like I said, it's free on the Switch, it's free on PC. The only thing that costs money is the DLC. And the DLC is not that expensive. I say it's not that expensive. In America. Not just in America. In today's modern world. You guys can now see my fucking graph for my VTuber. Anyways, I just thought that was funny. If I remember, my laptop really sucks. It's really, it's not on Android? No. Do you not? And then I'm guessing that you don't have a Switch as well, which is why they're kind of expensive. And it's got ants in the screen. Ew! Ew. That's fun. Lizzie and Cove got into a bit of a fight today. We were hoping that the two of them could talk and make up. Is this a good time for you and Cove?
What?
A fight? Cove didn't tell me anything about that when I came home. It does explain the funk he's been in tonight. He chuckled lightly despite that. It didn't seem like he really thought it was funny. Anyway, it's good. You didn't catch us at a bad time. I'll go grab him for you. Nope, I'm a broke butt college student. Fair enough. I got my Nintendo Switch as a Christmas gift several years ago. And then I bought one for my best friend on sale, and that was a pretty fucking penny. I bought my best friend / wife an Animal Crossing Switch because I wanted to play Animal Crossing with her, and I thought it would be a really, really cute gift if I managed to get her the whole fucking thing, and I did. And I worked my ass off to get that for her. And my mom still covered, like, more than half of that payment. It was a lot. And now they jokingly call me their pimp now. And whenever they say that, whenever I complain about them trying to buy me something, his response is always, "You fucking bought me a Nintendo Switch and Animal Crossing for Christmas. I can buy you whatever the fuck I want." Because essentially, because I'm like, no, don't spend your money on me, please don't. And then she's just like, you want to talk about spending stupid amounts of money on people? That makes me sound like I have loads of money. But like, actually fuck it. I'm incredibly fortunate. I'm not gonna try and downplay the opportunities that I have. I'm incredibly fortunate. I'm not rich, but I'm not incredibly poor. However, I have talked about the state of my room and my lack of a floor. But, that's fine. For people who've never been here, if anyone hasn't been here before, you missed like one of those streams. At one point, I was being silly and I was like, ha, I don't even have a floor. And chat was confused, and I had to explain that, I don't have carpet or hardwood down in my bedroom, because we had to completely redo this room, because this is a really old house. And when we ripped out the carpet, the really old, disgusting carpet that is just really gross, we've yet to replace it, so I've been living off the base floor. And I think it's really funny to sit here and be like, I don't have a floor, guys, because I don't. I have like a piece of wood that gives me splinters with paint on it. Anyways, yes, I appreciate y'all calling me sweet. I'm the kind of person who doesn't really think of myself. Eden, you can see the disaster of that is my room soon. Because it's officially 25 in 25 25 days. Yeah, the weekend of like the 23rd through the 27th, there probably won't be any streams. I'm gonna say that right now. Like 23rd through the 27th probably won't be streams. Because Fenn's gonna be here, Eden's gonna be here, and potentially my wife. Both of them. Oh my god. Both of them might be here. Shit. Like my con wife and my best friend who I'm engaged to. Not a joke, we're engaged. It's a half joke. And then Eden's gonna be here. Eden, my beloved. My partner. And so that's gonna be interesting. So we probably will not be streaming that weekend. Because I also have work. There was some stuff shuffling on the other end. He must not have gone far because you could still hear him calling out. Cove! There's someone on the phone for you! After a beat of silence, there was more muffled talking from Cove's dad. Come on, bud. Lizzie called just so she could talk to you.
Are you sure?
Ren's on the other end listening too. Don't you want to say hi? It took a bit of back and forth, though the conversation seemed one-sided since you couldn't hear Cove properly. Eventually, Cove took the phone from his dad.
Hi.
It is certainly going to be very interesting, and I don't expect to be present for most of it. / reference. I fully expect to sing and then just get fucking yoked. It's probably what it's gonna be like. I don't think I'll be very conscious that weekend. God, it was such a funny car trip, by the way. We were just in the car. I was like, we're getting really close. I would expect to like not be here by now. And like it was all the way up to like pulling onto your street. We pulled onto your street. Like I felt hypothetically like I just got slammed into the car door. Not a car accident, guys. I'm talking about something kind of funky and specific, but if that makes sense. Like psychically felt like I got slammed into the car door when we were turning onto your street. Just it's great. It's great. Anyways. Oh, also, I probably will I'm probably gonna end up changing my stream hours because my work hours are about to change, so I'm no longer gonna be working night shift. So, I'll probably be streaming more earlier in the evening. If that's alright with you guys. Ow. Or I'll have to start changing the days that I stream. It really just depends on how things are gonna work out. Hello?
Hey. It's Lizzie.
Yeah, I know. Dad told me. Cove's tone was defensive. Lizzie turned to Mom, scowling. One stern look from her, though. And Lizzie turned away.
Sorry.
Woo, I won't be sleepy. Oh no. I mean, I think snail streams are an even more or less convenient time. Love snail. But, oh, Mom's live. Oh, shit. By the way, Luna, I got the game that you recommended. I have it now. I have it. I have Night in the Woods. So we can play that. It was Night in the Woods that you recommended, yeah? Or was... No, it was Dead by Daylight. You recommended Dead by Daylight. Fuck, I got the wrong game. High screen. Shit, fuck. It's okay, it was free. I got the game for free from Fennel. So, I didn't actually buy the wrong game. I just got the wrong game. Yeah, Eska streams really early for me. And so, like, when Snail's like, oh my gosh, my mods are never here. And I'm like, if you didn't stream at 5 a.m., perhaps I would stay for more than, like, 10 minutes. It was dead of... Oh, at dead of night. Opening Steam. Store. At dead of night. Night, no, not Night of the Dead. Dead of night. Wait, I might have found a completely different game then. Dead of Night is a flip screen is a 2D flip screen adventure game inspired by such 8-bit classics as Spike in Transylvania, Bride of Frankenstein. I think this is still wrong. Steam, stop being a bitch. Oh, I found it. Maybe. Yeah, view the page. At Dead of Night is part horror film, part horror game, and part ghost hunt. It blends live action and graphics to create... This is what you sent me. Yeah, I found it. I did not add it to my wish list. Now it's been added to my wish list. Cool. Closing Steam. Sorry, while I'm here, let me quickly add that to my shit. Is Dead by Daylight good? I've heard about it. What is Dead by Daylight? I don't know. Thank you, Luna. I've added it to my wish list properly now. So we can play it on a later stream. I just called to say, I'm sorry for not playing nice with you today. I won't do it again. Lizzie's eyes were downcast, her voice low. You could tell she felt uncomfortable apologizing to Cove in front of everyone. She was still being genuine about feeling bad. Cove must have realized that too, because he sighed quietly. Me and Ren should get gold too. That's right, Lizzie had kept denying you two what you deserved. That's... child. Yeah, I'll be on the lookout. I want to hear your reactions. Jesus Christ, I have never liked horror games. Actually, I say that. I've never properly played horror games. I like horror movies. But I can't watch any of those on Twitch. So sad. Lizzie was momentarily stunned silent by the demand. She probably forgot that had even happened already. Alright, we all win the gold. Okay. I guess I'm sorry too. A sense of relief washed over everyone at his acceptance of the apology.
Mom uncrossed her arms while Mommy's shoulders relaxed. Lizzie's eyebrows raised up. He wondered if she thought he'd refuse her an apology. Her apology. Dad, can I get off the phone now? You couldn't see him, but it was obvious that Ko felt awkward about the situation. He had come off uncomfortable the entire time, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go back to your room now if you want. Be sure to say goodbye first, though. Bye, Lizzie. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Ren. You perked up at the mention of your name. You smiled, even if he couldn't see it.
Bye, Cove. My voice is dead.
With that said, Cove must have handed the phone to his dad and left, since Mr. Holden spoke up.
That's a relief.
All's well that ends well, as they say. Thanks for arranging this. I'm sure he appreciates it. As Mom replied, Lizzie tugged on Mommy's hand to catch her attention. Can I go now, too?
Good job.
Sure. Sure, sweetie. Thank you very much for apologizing to Cove. Mom flashed a brief smile at Lizzie and nodded her agreement. Given permission to leave, Lizzie scurried off towards the stairs. She seemed to be feeling much better with the incident behind her. Mom and Mommy returned to the phone, taking it off the speaker. They continued talking to Mr. Holden. You couldn't tell what about. You were glad that that was the end of it all. Lizzie and Cove might not get along, and probably still won't, but they weren't mad at each other anymore. Mom and Mommy weren't upset either. Everything was finally back to normal. With that thought, you retreated to your own room with a spring in your step. We might have time for one more. One more? Dead by Daylight is hide and seek with death. Oh, Dead by Daylight must have been the game that Fennel was recommending. I showed the friend I went to visit a few weeks ago a game, and she loved the game. That game, and she loved it, but also was also kind of scared. Little Nightmares was very interesting. It was just a game that Finn had heavily been recommending to me for like ages. And I had no idea what was gonna happen in the game. And Fireflies? Okay, we can do Fireflies. I think the funniest part about it is, like, you know the part where I kept dying on the table to all of the hungry people? That bit really wasn't me playing it up for entertainment. I legit was getting, like, I was legit kind of losing it. That was, like, actually me starting to go insane while playing the game. Because I couldn't get past that fucking part. There is some content warnings I'm gonna need. Okay, cool. That's actually one of the reasons why we're not playing Boyfriend Dungeon tonight. Because I didn't feel like looking back up the content warnings to edit the command. Because I'm lazy. Like I said this last night in the Hades stream, I am really lazy. I don't really think our life needs any content warnings. I mean, there is mentions of, like, divorce, and there's people fighting, but other than that, I don't know. As some, that's totally fine. Like, exactly. My parents are divorced, and I don't get along with my dad at all, and I remember hearing them fight all the time when I was younger. And, like, when I saw Dear Evan Hansen live, my best friend, again, I went to go see my best friend, and we went to go see Dear Evan Hansen together, and that's actually where I met my partner. Not Eden. Eden is my QPR. I'm gonna censor their name. No, I'm not. So I met Minty in the lobby of Dear Evan Hansen
which is a really great memory for me. And in the show, there are several scenes where the Murphy household is very dysfunctional. And it's near the end of the play where they're arguing, either when they're arguing right before words fail. I remember covering my my ears, and I fucking ducked in my seat. Like, I had my arm, I put my hands on my head, I fucking leaned forward in my seat, tucking myself away. And like, she turned to me and was like, "Do we need to step out for a minute? Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm fine. I'm gonna be good. This scene's about to be over." Aww. When you're falling in a forest and there's nobody around, do you ever really crash or even make a sound? It's way too high. God, could you imagine singing the whole song like that? Fuck, that'd be so painful. 'Cause no one deserves to be forgotten. No one deserves to fade away. No one deserves to come and go and wonder if it matters that they are here. 'Cause no one deserves to disappear. Fireflies. You would not believe your eyes if 10 million fireflies lit up the world as I fell asleep. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, bum. 'Cause they'd fill the open air and leave teardrops everywhere. You'd think me rude, but I would just stand and stare. I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep, 'cause everything is never as it seems. 'Cause I'd get 1,000 hugs from 10,000 lightning bugs as they try to teach me how to dance. Ba da 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 da. A sock up above my head. A sock up above my head. A foxtrot beneath my bed. A disco ball is just hanging by a thread, thread. A dum bum bum. I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep, 'cause everything is never as it seems. And then you've got like the weird ass bridge. Bum 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 ba-dum bum bum. Leave my door open just a crack. Please take me away from here, 'cause I'm such an insomniac. Please take me away from here. Why do I tire of counting sheep? Please take me away from here when I'm far too tired to fall asleep. To 10 million fireflies, I'm weird 'cause I hate goodbyes. I had misty eyes as they said farewell, but I'll know where several are if my dreams get real bizarre, 'cause I saved a few and I keep them in a jar. Bum. I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep, because my seams are bursting at the seams. Anyways, back to the game.
Alright, tonight we're going to catch fireflies.
At this blunt declaration from your sister, You looked up from your macaroni and cheese dinner. Oh, that's the best dinner. Fireflies were a familiar sight over summer, coming out on warm nights to dance through the night. Tonight was particularly balmy. You knew there were bound to be tons of them around. Oh, you are you? You started eating faster.
Yeah!
You rocked lightly from side to side in your seat, already excited for your after-dinner activity. Catching fireflies was a great way to spend a summer evening, and you could already envision the little lightning bugs drifting through the darkened sky. Flick! Ah, shit, I went back. Oh.
That sounds like a good idea. Lizzie, That's a good idea, Lizzie. Can we, Mrs. Rhymes?
Shiloh's here. Why is Shiloh here? Shiloh tapped his fork against the table excitedly, his face lighting up as he looked at Lizzie. It was unusual for Shiloh to still be here. Like always, his mom had to bring him over really early in the morning before her job started. But normally, she would have picked him up by now. She called before dinner to let your mom know she'd be late. You didn't hear why. Probably more work things. You thought maybe getting to hang out with Shiloh for longer is what made Lizzie want to keep running around outside. Staying at home and watching TV was never an option for her with guest over. That's why you were pretty sure she'd got your moms to agree. Well, it's already so dark out there. Lizzie gave Mom the best puppy dog eyes she could, slowly spooning mac and cheese into her mouth while you waited there for their response.
Let them go. Nights like this don't happen every day.
Your parents exchanged a look. Then Mom eventually sighed and nodded back.
Yes!
Along with Lizzie's cheers, you threw your arms up in triumph, but waited until you'd finished chewing to say anything because you knew it was rude to talk with your mouth full. Fine. Just make sure you stay on the hill behind our house with all the poppies, okay?
Duh, Mom. That's where most of them are.
The idea had only just been planted in your head, but already you could just picture all the glowing lights spread out in front of you, like the fairies from the bedtime stories Mommy read sometimes. All too quickly, it became a race to see who could finish their food first. No choking at the dinner table now. That's right, if someone died, we'd have to cancel the Firefly trip after all. Mom said it like a joke, but you knew that they were both telling you kids to slow down. Shiloh didn't immediately. When you glanced at Lizzie, you saw her still eating faster than she should. Elizabeth!
Jeez. No one is gonna die. Sheesh.
A knock on the door interrupted Mom before she could no doubt scold your sister.
I'll get it.
Your big sister jumped out of her seat and ran over to the door, pulling it open without even looking at the window to see who it was.
Huh?
You shifted in your seat to try and get a glimpse of the unexpected guest.
Hi.
Good evening, Cove. Your mommy had already walked to the door by the time you managed to see past Shiloh's flappy hat.
Oh, Cove, hi, you're here.
Cove smiled at your enthusiastic greeting and he hoped Mommy would ask him to stay. It didn't matter why he was there. It meant he could join you all in catching fireflies. Then for a few seconds, Cove said nothing. He only stood there and looked up at your mommy with a face almost like he was considering turning around and leaving. My dad told me to drop this off because I guess he borrowed it from you. Cove took a familiar screwdriver from out of his large side pocket. Eyes now dropped to the floor. We left ours back home when we moved.
Great, thanks, bye!
Thank you.
Here, why don't you come inside for a bit?
Lizzie crossed her arms and lifted her chin. Cove shrugged, and Mom stood from the table too. I'll give your dad a call to let him know that you're here, alright? Cove shuffled fully inside, eyes remaining on the ground. Mommy closed the door behind him.
Hi, Cove!
Shiloh gave Cove a friendly smile. I need to drink water, sorry. Hydration check, except we don't have hydration check. Follows our hydration checks. That's what I typically use them for. Yeah. by holding up his hand and opening and closing his fingers. Cove nodded in response. You could come with us if you want. From the corner of your eye, you could see Lizzie glaring at you for mentioning the excursion to an outsider. Fuck off, Lizzie. Trying not to beat her gaze, you looked at Cove. Whatever Lizzie thought of him, he wasn't exactly a stranger anymore. I'll unfollow and refollow. Luna, no. Luna, no. That doesn't always work. We've been over this. Also, speaking of lurk, I need to add a lurk command because Milo tried to do that the other day. And it didn't work because I don't have a command for that set up. And I realized I kind of need to set up a lurk command. Oh my gosh, they're kind of stretched out. That's kind of funny. A little bit funny. What should the lurk command say? I'm not gonna set it up right this minute, but I can do it later. What should we what should it say when people are lurking? Because we've kind of got the train vibes going. Like my stuff is very train themed on Twitch, but like, should we go with the train themes for lurking, or should we go with like, I don't know. I'm not quite sure what we should do. Because with Snail, it's like, they've wandered off into the tall grass. Will we find them again?
We're gonna catch fireflies on the hill out back.
You said that with a smile, hoping Cove would want to come.
Yeah.
I can do that. I'd never caught one before. It's too bad he didn't have a chance before now. The fireflies weren't out when he first moved in, and there must not have been any where he used to live. Said person went on an amazing train ride. They will be back soon. Screenshotting that. It's an adorable contender. The fireflies weren't out when he first moved, and there must have not been any where he used to live.
We can't go until after dinner.
After she pointed this out, Lizzie walked back to the table and took her seat. There wasn't much left on her plate. Since this was very true, you decided to finish up your own stuff as well. Cove stepped closer and eyed what was on the menu for your family's meal.
Have you eaten?
Yeah, my dad and I ate earlier.
What did you have?
Eggs. Was that it? The clipped one-word answer seemed to discourage Shiloh from asking any more questions. His eyes slowly wandered back to the last scraps of food on his plate. Did you just eat eggs? Fun fact, I don't eat eggs. Not often, at least. Her phone call with Cove's dad must have ended because your mom came back into the room.
Okay.
Cove, your dad said you can stay for a little while if you'd like. But he's going to come... I need to remember which voice is for which mom! Get you before... But he's going to come and get you before it gets too much later. Eggs are gross. Agreed, they are gross. I don't eat them often. But I do eat them occasionally, and I do eat them in things. But like... I have found that I can eat eggs from Waffle House. I can occasionally eat eggs at my grandparents' house, but if I eat them too much, they kind of make me gag. They also upset my stomach a little bit, so, like, I'm not allergic to eggs, but, like, eggs are kind of bad for you. Well, they're not bad for you, but, like, sometimes they're bad for you. Sure. Oh, fun! This will be so nice! As you polished off the meal, you hoped it would be too. The three of you all finished eating shortly after, and Lizzie led the way outside. Remember, don't stray too far!
It's fine, Mom.
Shiloh trailed so closely after Lizzie, he was nearly stepping on her heels. Cove hesitated at the door. Coming? After a moment, he did.
Bye.
Bye, children. The two of you were a good 10 or 15. I'm not a fan of, like, animal products simply because they taste bad. That's my sister's thing, too, Pip. Pip is like, I really don't like most meat. Not because of like any immoral reason, I just don't like the texture and the way that it tastes. I like chicken. My sister will eat the shit out of like, mostly if it's chicken, she'll probably eat it. But like, she's not a huge fan of beef or pork. Not quite sure what her thoughts on turkey are, but I personally don't like turkey. Yeah, no, she's just like, no, I'm not a vegetarian. I just don't like the way it tastes and or the texture of it. Or she'll be like, I acknowledge that it tastes fine, but I don't like the way it feels in my mouth. God. It's kind of like V with blueberries. I love fruits and I love blueberries. V is not a huge fan of fruits because he does not like the way fruits go squish. Like berries and berries. I guess not all fruit is hard. I'm soft and squishy. I need to stop talking. This is gonna get clipped out of context. Chicken is like the only thing I'll really eat. Fair enough. I like potatoes. The two of you were a good 10 or 15 feet behind Lizzie and Shiloh by the time you walked outside. You pushed the door shut behind you, watching their figures get further and further away.
You're so slow, Ren. We don't have all night.
You started to run when you heard Lizzie's voice calling you, but paused when you saw Cove still walking at a relaxed pace.
Are you not coming? Are you not gonna come?
Cove gave you a quizzical look.
No, I'm still coming. Let's go then.
You picked up with the pace, feet kicking up dust as you ran behind the house. After a second, Cove started to chase after you. It didn't take long to reach the hill. You slowed down as you started to climb up, a slow grin spreading across your face at the gorgeous sight. Bright, winking lights floated like buoys. I know that word. On a wave. All around your little group, straying teasingly close before darting away again. Wow. Shiloh took a moment to come over and welcome the both of you to the hill.
Hi, guys. It's really great out, huh? See how many there are?
Yeah. Firefly danced through the air, landing on Cove's sea green head. Shiloh couldn't help but giggle. You and Shiloh couldn't help but... No. No. This is cute. We giggle. Covering your mouth with a hand, the sound escaped you and Cove looked at you in confusion. What?
Oh, look! Lizzie has one! That's amazing!
I don't know why I've decided Shiloh's voice is so fucking high, but Shiloh looks like somebody who has like one of those high-pitched voice, who's probably voiced by like Josh Grell or something. For those of you who don't know, Josh Grell is the voice actor for, the first one that comes to mind is Armin Arlert from Attack on Titan. He's also been in Princess Jellyfish, which is one of my favorite anime, and I've got a jellyfish with a crown on it because of that anime. But not that voice. He plays like a drag queen in that. I don't know if she's trans or not, but I think... Yeah, anyways. Or Deku from My Hero, but like squeaky. Shiloh ran to the highest point of the hill, making sure not to lose his hat or unpack along the way. Or backpack, not unpack. God, it's getting late, I guess. You hummed as the group divided and conquered, shifting your gaze to the dozens of other fireflies sailing around. The game was on. You had a bandage on your thumb and you tried to be cautious of that. You had a bandage on your palm and you tried to be cautious of that. You were good at not getting cut. No. This child... Where's this child bandaged? I've never actually seen any animes. None? What's a good safe anime to show you that we can watch like within the span of like 4 days? Probably like one of the chill ones. Actually, let me not get you into anime. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not getting you into anime. That sounds like a terrible idea, actually. 2 on the hands? Spotting one close by, you approached it with Still, I shouldn't get you into, like, Sailor Moon Crystal is simple. Sailor Moon Crystal is simple, but I don't really think we can watch that in 4 days. Not like if we watch other stuff. We're not watching Food Wars. Yeah. No, it's Food Ward now. Spotting one close by, you approached it with assassin-like stealth. Oh, we can watch Assassination Classroom. Down to make yourself seem like less of a threat. Slowly dragging one foot in front of the other, you crept up towards it, arms stretched out. You closed your hands around the little glowing orb, careful not to crush it. The firefly landed on your palm, almost docile, and you stared down at your prize in delight. His tiny legs tickled your skin, and you giggled at the sensation. Cove kept up with his own target. When he tried to grab it, his pink cast waved awkwardly through the air, foiling his efforts to clasp his hand around the firefly. Baby, you're not really an anime fan? We don't have to watch anything. Ah! Cove watched it vanish into the air with a dissatisfied expression on his face.
Hey, wanna see the one I got?
Cove gave one more look in the direction of his lost prize before coming closer and peering at the insect still crawling across your palm. You held out your hand, and he leaned closer, eyes widening a tad behind his glasses. Cove remained hypnotized by the little bug as he inched his hand closer to yours. Ultimately, he settled his fingers lightly over the top of the ones you were holding open. It tingled. You stayed very still. 'Cause how else is the firefly gonna move to him? My Hero's okay. Well, actually, I do really like My Hero, but it's also... This is gonna sound really bad. It's a great show, but it's also very Western. It's way more centralized than a lot of the other stuff. I really, really like My Hero, but it's, like, it's such a, for the most part, it's such a safe anime. The last thing you wanted was to accidentally scare the shiny treasure off. Yo, look at that! We got a little... Oh, that's so cute. The fireflies, noticing the new connection, crawled up onto Cove's hand. He quietly gasped. Just quickly nabbing a screenshot. It worked!
Yeah, you got one.
Cove's lips turned up into a slow smile, and his eyes shined brighter than the bug.
Thanks, Ren.
With a laugh, he gave the palm of your hand a friendly smack, performing an awkward low five. Startled by the extreme movement, the tiny light disappeared before you could even blink. Your firefly was gone.
Oops. Sorry.
Why are we gonna get fucking pissed? He's a... okay, we're both children, and, like, I see fireflies all the time. Why would we be upset? We forgive. We forgive.
That's okay. I couldn't keep it forever.
You're right.
Right. Bugs have to stay outside. Let's get another. You decided to collect more. You decided to sit. No, we're gonna collect more. I love fireflies. Sorry, I should be having you guys make more decisions. But fireflies! I love fireflies. They're so pretty.
Uh-huh. We can work together.
His face broke out into a wide grin. We'll get a bunch. With renewed vigor, you ran out into the hill. You're not sure how much time passed while you were in the thick of it. All you could focus on was the adventure at hand. No critter was safe from your grasp. At first, you tried to keep a tally of how many you had caught. But once the number grew higher than 10, you had no more fingers left to count with. Then you use your toes, obviously. You were having the time of your life, racing up and down the hill with the crash of the ocean and the sound of everyone's laughter echoing in the background. I'm in 100% with agreement with my decisions. Thank you, Luna. Run! This way! You followed the sound of Cove's voice to the top of the hill, watching as he stretched his arm in front of him, reaching with his fingers and only narrowly missing his target. Cove and you took turns trying to scare fireflies in the directions of the other. You showed him some techniques that you had learned, like how to cup your hands correctly, and he listened attentively before trying for himself. There were a few times when you almost ran into each other, giggling as you dove to the side at the last moment. Luckily, disaster was avoided each time. It was an overall huge success with the both of you catching multiple fireflies each. Eventually, the fireflies began to thin out and your energy started to lapse. You decided it was time to call off the hunt. He's blushing! The baby is blushing. Look at his face. Gotta get another screenshot. I'm sending this to a group chat, like the pictures, so I can post them in the Discord later. I'm sure my friends are going to be kind of confused. Like, several of them know that I play this game. Several of them knew that I was going to be playing this game tonight. I'm sure they're still going to be a little confused. And it's fine. I just need to send the screenshot somewhere. Shit. Oh, Cove didn't complain. He breathed in heavily and his face seemed really flushed. That was fun. A lot of fun. You smiled at him broadly, happy that he had enjoyed the activity. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was! Run, Cove! Get up here! We're gonna have a race! Shouting caught you off guard. It had been quite a while since you heard from Lizzie or Shiloh. We just fucking left them. It's fine. You glanced over to see them both standing on top of the hill again, Lizzie beckoning you to come with a quick hand gesture. If she was like that, you knew there wasn't much room for disagreement. Up the incline you went. From the corner of your eye, you saw Cove was coming as well. He didn't care for Lizzie a lot, so you thought he might be intrigued just by the idea of a race.
Hi.
Hi, Cove! You can't roll down the hill. You could hurt your arm again. You'll be the referee for the rest of us. As Lizzie pointed this out, Cove froze in place. Oh. It was that kind of race. He frowned down at his cast. That was the second time it got in the way of tonight. What? Yeah, you'll watch and see who gets to the bottom first. That's important. Got it? I guess. The cast was sturdy. If he was careful, he could have done it. Lizzie might have just been looking for a reason to make someone else be the referee. But it was already decided.
I'll stay with Cove.
Really?
Really?
Why? You don't have to.
It's okay. I'm doing the wrong voice. Real quick, what's the, it's a bit less high. I always fuck it up when Shiloh's around. You know, Shiloh kind of looks like Martin from the Magnus Archives if Martin was a child. What if we gave Shiloh a British accent? Can we give Shiloh a British accent?
It's okay. I want to watch.
That's better. You moved beside him on top of the hill, even though Lizzie eyed you and made a face. That's not how races work. We only need one referee. Shrugging your shoulders, you refused to budge, and Lizzie let out a huff before throwing her hands in the air. Fine. I'll be the winner, whether you join or not. Lizzie moved to lay down, and Shiloh did the same. Cove stood slightly to the side to get a better vantage point, and you stood next to him. Countdown. Countdown! Cove stood up a little straighter. It seemed like he was taking his newfound referee duties seriously. Look at the little determined baby. I love him. Look at just pinch his little cheeks. 3, 2, 1, go! Lizzie and Shiloh took off, letting gravity do the work and rolling at high speed towards the bottom of the hill. You and Cove leaned forward to watch them go, eyes peeled for which of the two would reach the bottom first. They were both neck and neck until both about halfway down the hill, Lizzie started to veer off to the side, giving Shiloh a huge advantage. She obviously hadn't noticed a thing, and as soon as Shiloh reached the bottom of the hill, he jumped up excitedly and threw his hands in the air. I won! Almost immediately, he fell back onto the grass, still dizzy from his roll down the hill. Lizzie stomped out of the bush she had ended up in, spluttering angrily and brushing leaves from the front of her dress. Not bad. You got lucky. Let's do it again and see who wins for real. Kids! It's time to come in. No! You snickered, feeling grateful you hadn't been a part of the mini debacle. You caught Cove's eyes and saw that he was doing the same. It had gotten late and was beginning to feel just a bit chilly as you made your way out of the hills, but the cold in the air hadn't dampened anyone's spirits. The four of you walked back home together, side by side, down your neighborhood street, discussing the evening with each person trying to prove that they were the one who caught the most fireflies. You knew that whoever really did catch the most didn't matter much anyway. All that mattered was that you all had a good time, which, judging by the smiles on everyone's faces, you did. Okay, it is 2:20. I've got class today. We've been live for 3.5 hours? See, here's the funky thing. Given that you play this game in sections, it gives me great stopping points. So that is the little issue. Normally I'd be like, yeah, we can go a little bit longer, but I don't know if the stopping points are gonna like run along too much, you know? Where am I getting to? Oh, I'm getting added. Oh, it's a pride announcement. I should do a pride announcement. I will. Snail! Hi, Snail. Well, how can I sleep now? Snail's here. Unless Snail's been here. And then, we don't talk about me not sleeping. No. No, 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 no. No. But Eska's here. Chat. Go sleep. I've been here for ages. Go sleep. Snail, you didn't input anything. Oh my god, Snail, we talked about you a lot. Like, you were here last night. I knew that. Wait, shit, I did know that. Eska, what do you think of the game so far? Are you gonna play it yet? Please. 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 Eska's been here. Has Eska been chatting and I didn't see? You were playing Roller Champions with the Pocketeers. Did you have fun with the Pocketeers? I mean, like, but like, the game though. Shit, where'd the game go? Did I lose the game? Fuck. When I say lose the game, I mean on OBS. So I can turn it back on. Static. Detroit Stardew. I lost it. Fuck. I'm multitasking. Wool. Snail. Sleep is important. I mean, it is, and I do have class today, and the day after that I've got work, but like, is it really all that important, though? Is it really? We just talking. Cove Holden, Our Life, plushie. Might be sold out. Oh, these are to help support Cove James. His middle name is James. Cove James Holden from Our Life, Beginning as Always, is now available as a plush for limited time only. The design is featured in his Step 3 young adult stage. Cove's grown up and is ready to move from Sunset Bird right to your house. Though he'll come through the door this time instead of the window. Plus, every Step 3 Cove plushie comes with a key for the actual Step 3 DLC. Hold on, let me send you guys a picture of what the plushie looks like. I don't really like the design of it. I say send, I'm gonna screenshot. Okay. Oh shit, where did it save it to? In pictures? It is in pictures. Oh god, why is it so big? No, why does it always do this? By the way, I actually really love Cove's Step 3 design. You guys haven't gotten there yet. You're seeing Step 1, Baby Cove. I don't like it. It's just not it. You know? I just realized, let me get a comparison. Cove, Holden, Step 3. No, I want... My favorite design for... This looks like the design they're going off of, so save image as Cove 3. Okay. Add image. Image 2. How is it already like 3 a.m.? Jesus. No, fuck. Go back up. So these are, so that's actually a different one of the hair designs. This is the hair design that I use for Cove. because in the later ones you can design what he looks like. This is like later Cove, and then you've got like the plushie. I realize you guys can't see my cursor. Okay, so then this is the later Cove. It like in plushie form. And then this is one of the designs from the game. And I mean, I would be tempted. He is cute. Like, yeah, this is the little kid that we've been playing. Oh shit, I'm covering chat. I'll just cover my babies over here. This is the kid all grown up. This little fella right here. No, he is like, he's amazing. We stan. We're just gonna... How small does it go? Oh my gosh, it gets so tiny. He does age well, doesn't he? Doesn't he? He's so pretty. So handsome. I'm really glad you guys have enjoyed the stream and the game, because I was kind of concerned that if I played a dating sim, it would not go well. Originally, I was going to, like, my plans for streaming was going to be that I play a bunch of dating sims on like Twitch, because I like dating sims. But instead, I've seemed to be playing more games that aren't like that. But this is one of my favorites, and it's very gay. It's made by gay people, probably for gay people. So I kind of wanted to. This was definitely a big. Oh, flip. Oh, what? I'm so sorry. I just realized. Wait, can I do that with myself? Wait. No, I can't. I can't. I can just get bigger and smaller. Okay, go back in the corner now. There we go. Ba ba. Ba ba. Wait, where was I? I'm not quite sure. Wait, Static, I don't have any feet. I'm gonna hide over here with Tilly and Bats. Sweet Caroline. Ba ba ba. Yeah, sorry. I'm gonna stop fucking around now. I'm very easily distracted if you guys hadn't learned by now. Oh, I changed the new ending song for this month. We'll see if it gets me copyright striked. So I guess if I'm ending stream, I'm gonna flip onto the end of the screen, and I will find somebody to raid. Unless you guys want to keep chatting, but it's just gonna involve me rambling.
I want the world in my hands. I hate the beach, but I stand in California with my toes in the sand. Use the sleeves of my sweater. Let's have an adventure. Head in the clouds, but my gravity center.
So
touch my neck, and I'll touch yours. You and those little high-waisted shorts. Oh, she knows what I think about, and what I think about. One love, two mouths. One love, one house. No shirt, no blouse, just us. You find out nothing that we don't want to tell you about. No, 'cause it's too cold.
Not a game that matches these vibes.
For you here and now, so let me hold both your hands in the holes of my sweater. And if I may just take your breath away, I don't mind if there's not much to say. Sometimes the silence guides the mind, so move
so
send you
far
guys
away.
to.
The goosebumps start to raise the minute that my left hand meets
Is
your
there anyone playing
waist.
Stardew Valley?
And then I watch your face, put my finger on your tongue, cause you love the taste, yeah.
Like, if you guys
These hearts
grab
adore everyone the other
Google
beats hardest
for
for. Inside this
Rainer.
place is warm, outside the stars to pour. Coming down, one love, two mouths, one love, one house. No shirt, no blouse, just us, you find out.
Oh.
Even though we don't wanna tell you about it, no, no,
Foolish is playing
no,
Stardew.
cause it's too cold for you here and now, so let me hold.
Well, that does not make this easier.
Both your hands in the holes of my
What do you guys want to do?
sweater.
Want to go see Mom? The ducks?
For you
Whatever
here
music we
and
play.
now, so let me hold.
That it's up to you.
Both your hands in the holes of my sweater.
Because I'm trying to think of like some. Maybe. Sounds really silly. I'm just letting you guys talk. It's getting kind of awkward. Keep in mind that Mom's playing something I've never played, one of the games that we talked about earlier. So you guys
Cause
can
it's
tell
too
how it is, I guess. And if you guys think I should play it.
you here
But it's weird.
and now, so let me hold. Both your hands in the holes of my sweater. It's too cold for you here and now, let me hold. Your hands in the holes of my sweater. It's too cold, it's too cold. The hand of my sweater.
Come on. Alright. I'm gonna send y'all over now.